Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm so excited you're here today. I hope you're doing well, and if you're not, I'm sending you all the good vibes. Seriously, this is a safe space, and I'm really happy to share this reading with you. So today's pick a pile is all about, what someone really wants to tell you right now. It could be anyone, a friend, a lover, a family member, or even just someone you're thinking about. It's like, what's on their heart that they haven't quite said yet? We're gonna dive deep, so get ready for some potential revelations. It's a timeless reading, so this message will find you whenever you're meant to hear it. Okay, so let's get into the piles. For our first pile, we have this beautiful garnet butterfly. It's all about illuminating hidden desires, that confession that's just ready to emerge. Then, for pile number 2, we have this awesome amber dragon, and this one is about igniting dormant truths, like the revelation that's really striving to be heard. And then, for our third pile, we have this amethyst pyramid. This is giving me protective vibes, like shielding vulnerable feelings and the truth that's being carefully guarded. And finally, for pile number 4, we have this Lapis Lazuli sphere, which is all about seeking harmonious expression, like the message that just needs perfect clarity. They're all so pretty, right? So go ahead and take a deep breath and just trust your intuition in choosing the pile that you're most drawn to. There's absolutely no pressure, okay? And it's totally okay to check out multiple piles if you feel called to. Maybe close your eyes for a second and just set the intention to receive the message that's meant for you. Take what resonates and leave the rest. I'll see you in your reading. Hey there, Garnet Butterfly. Welcome to your reading, and thank you so much for tuning in. With the Garnet Butterfly here, it's all about illumination, and it's here to help reveal those hidden desires. So get ready, because this reading is all about the confession that's just ready to emerge and what they want to tell you now. Okay, wow, so we have the 6 of Cups, Strength, and the Sun. What a beautiful combination. I'm already getting goosebumps. Okay, so right away, what I'm seeing is a journey, like a real journey from the past, which is the 6 of Cups, through inner strength, which is represented by the Strength card, and then finally to a bright, sunny future with the Sun card. This really screams unveiling hidden desires to me. It's like something that was hidden, maybe even buried, is now finally being revealed, which is so exciting. Let's start with the 6 of Cups. Okay, so this card, first of all, is just dripping with nostalgia, right? Like childhood memories, old friends, familiar places. It's that warm, fuzzy feeling of looking back at simpler times. But it's not just about the past in a general sense. It's about specific people or situations from your past that are super relevant right now. So, think about who keeps popping into your head lately. Who are you dreaming about? Whose Instagram are you accidentally and purpose stalking? Because that's where we're going to find some clues. This could be a person from your childhood, a past lover, or even just a really close friend that you've lost touch with. The 6 of Cups often indicates a reunion, like someone from your past is about to reappear in your life. And you might be thinking, oh great, another person from my past to stir up drama, but hold on, because this isn't necessarily about that. It could also be about healing, about resolving old issues, about finally getting closure. Think about the energy of the Garnet Butterfly too. Remember, it's all about illumination. So the 6 of Cups isn't just about remembering the past, it's about illuminating it, understanding it in a new light. Maybe you need to revisit these memories to understand something about yourself or about your current situation. Maybe there's a lesson there that you missed the first time around. It's like the universe is saying, hey, remember this? It's important. Now, here's where it gets interesting. The 6 of Cups isn't always about literal people from your past. It can also represent a past version of yourself. Think about who you used to be, what you used to enjoy, what made you happy. Have you lost touch with that part of yourself? Is there something you need to reclaim from your past in order to move forward? Sometimes, we bury our passions, our dreams, our authentic selves under layers of responsibilities and expectations. The 6 of Cups is asking you to dig that stuff up, dust it off, and bring it back into your life. Maybe you used to love painting or writing or dancing or whatever, and you stopped because you thought it was silly or impractical or you just didn't have time. Well, guess what? The universe is saying, make time, because that thing that brought you joy in the past can bring you joy now. And that joy is going to fuel your journey forward. Another possibility here is that the Six of Cups is highlighting a past relationship dynamic that's still affecting you today. Maybe you had a pattern of attracting a certain type of person or repeating the same mistakes in relationships. The Six of Cups is asking you to examine those patterns, to understand where they came from, and to break free from them. It's about healing those old wounds so you don't keep bleeding on people who didn't cut you. Okay, so let's say, for example, you always went for the bad boy type, the emotionally unavailable, commitment phobe kind of guy, and you always ended up getting hurt. The Six of Cups is asking you to look back at your childhood, your upbringing, and see where that pattern originated. Maybe you had a father who was distant or a mother who was critical, and you unconsciously sought out partners who mirrored those dynamics. Once you understand the root of the problem, you can start to make different choices. You can start to attract people who are healthy, loving, and available. You can break the cycle of attracting the same kind of person over and over again. And that, my friend, is true healing. But remember, it's not just about romantic relationships. This could apply to friendships, family dynamics, even work relationships. The key is to identify the patterns and understand where they came from. And then make a conscious effort to change them. Okay, so before we move on to the next card, I want you to really think about who or what the Six of Cups represents for you. Is it a person from your past? A past version of yourself? A past relationship dynamic? What is the universe trying to illuminate for you here? What is the lesson you need to learn? Don't rush this process. Take some time to reflect, to journal, to meditate on it. The more clarity you gain here, the easier it will be to navigate the next stages of your journey. And trust me, it's going to be worth it. Because the next card, the Strength card, is all about how to harness that inner power to overcome any obstacle, and you're gonna need that for what's coming. So let's dive right into the Strength card. Okay, so after all that reflection on the past with the Six of Cups, we now move into this incredible energy of inner power and resilience. This card is all about courage, compassion, and overcoming challenges not through brute force, but through gentle strength. And isn't that just so powerful? It's like you've looked back, you've remembered, and now you're ready to face whatever comes next with grace and confidence. You see, strength isn't about flexing your muscles and dominating everyone around you. It's about mastering your emotions, controlling your impulses, and finding that quiet inner strength that allows you to handle any situation with poise. Think of the garnet butterfly shining a light on your inner resources. You already have everything you need to overcome whatever you're facing. The Strength card is just reminding you of that. It's like, hey, you've got this. You're stronger than you think. And you know what? You are. Now let's talk about how this relates to the hidden desires and the confession that's ready to emerge. Often, the biggest obstacle to confessing our desires is fear. Fear of rejection, fear of judgment, fear of vulnerability. The Strength card is here to tell you that you can overcome those fears. You have the inner strength to be vulnerable, to be authentic, to speak your truth. It's like, imagine you have this burning desire to tell someone how you feel. Maybe it's a romantic interest, maybe it's a friend, maybe it's a family member. But you're terrified of what they'll say, how they'll react. The Strength card is saying, okay, that fear is real, but you don't have to let it control you. You can acknowledge the fear, feel it, and then choose to act anyway. It's about finding that inner courage to step outside of your comfort zone and be true to yourself. It's about trusting that even if things don't go exactly as you planned, you'll be okay. You'll survive. You'll learn. You'll grow. Because you have that inner strength. And here's the thing, strength isn't just about overcoming fear in a single moment. It's about cultivating a consistent practice of self-compassion and emotional regulation. It's about learning to manage your triggers, to soothe your anxieties, to calm your inner critic. Maybe you've been struggling with self-doubt, with negative self-talk, with a lack of confidence. The Strength card is urging you to be kinder to yourself. to treat yourself with the same compassion and understanding that you would offer a dear friend. It's about recognizing that you're human, you're imperfect, and you're doing the best you can. And that's okay. You don't have to be perfect to be worthy of love, of success, of happiness. You just have to be yourself. And to be yourself, that requires that inner work that gives you strength. One way to cultivate this inner strength is through practices like meditation, mindfulness, and self-care. Take some time each day to quiet your mind, to connect with your body, to nourish your soul. Do things that bring you joy, that make you feel good, that remind you of your worth. Maybe it's taking a walk in nature, listening to music, reading a book, taking a bath, or spending time with loved ones. Whatever it is, make it a priority. Because when you take care of yourself, you're better equipped to handle whatever life throws your way. And you're definitely setting yourself up for that confession that's coming. Also, the Strength card can indicate that you need to be patient with yourself and with others. Remember, everyone is on their own journey. Everyone is struggling with their own challenges. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is to offer compassion and understanding, even when it's difficult. Maybe someone in your life is acting out, being difficult, or pushing your buttons. The Strength card is asking you to respond with kindness and empathy, rather than anger and judgment. It's about recognizing that their behavior is a reflection of their own inner turmoil, and not necessarily a personal attack on you. Now, here's a really important point. Strength isn't about being a doormat. It's not about allowing people to walk all over you. It's about setting healthy boundaries, standing up for yourself, and protecting your energy. It's like you can be compassionate and understanding without sacrificing your own needs and values. You can say no without feeling guilty. You can walk away from situations that are toxic or draining, because you have that inner strength to prioritize your own well-being. Okay, so before we move on to the final card, the Sun, I want you to really think about where you need to tap into your inner strength right now. What fears are you facing? What challenges are you overcoming? How can you be more compassionate with yourself and with others? Remember, the Garnet butterfly is illuminating your path, showing you the way forward. Trust in your own strength, trust in your own intuition, and trust that you have everything you need to succeed. Because the sun is about to shine its light on your desires, revealing the joy and clarity that await you. And that brings us to the sun. Oh my gosh, the sun. Like after all that inner work, all that courage and compassion from the Strength card, we finally arrive at this place of pure joy, abundance, and radiant happiness. It's like the clouds have parted, the sun is shining, and everything is just good. This card is all about optimism, vitality, and the realization of your dreams. It's about feeling confident, secure, and aligned with your true purpose. And isn't that what we all want? So with the Garnet butterfly illuminating the way, the sun is like the ultimate destination, the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. It's the reward for all your hard work, all your dedication, all your inner growth. Now let's talk about how this relates to the hidden desires and the confession that's ready to emerge. The sun often indicates that the confession will be well received, that the person you're telling will be open, receptive, and supportive. It's like you've built up all this courage and strength, and now the universe is saying, go for it. The timing is perfect. Imagine you've been holding back from expressing your feelings for someone, afraid of rejection or awkwardness. The sun is telling you to release that fear and speak your truth, because the chances are they feel the same way. Or even if they don't, they'll appreciate your honesty and vulnerability. It's about trusting that whatever happens, it's going to be okay. That you're strong enough to handle any outcome. And that even if you don't get the response you were hoping for, you'll still be proud of yourself for being true to yourself. But it's not just about romantic confessions. The sun can also indicate success in other areas of your life. Maybe you've been working towards a goal, a project, a dream. The sun is telling you that you're about to achieve it, that all your hard work is about to pay off. It's like you've been putting in the hours, overcoming obstacles, and staying focused on your vision. And now, you're finally about to see the fruits of your labor. It could be a promotion at work, a successful business venture, a creative breakthrough, or anything else that you've been striving for. The sun also represents clarity and understanding. It's like the fog has lifted, and you can finally see things clearly. Maybe you've been confused about a situation, uncertain about a decision, or struggling to understand your own emotions. The sun is bringing you that clarity, helping you to see things from a new perspective. It's about trusting your intuition, listening to your inner guidance, and making choices that align with your true values. It's about letting go of doubts and fears and embracing the joy and abundance that are available to you. And here's the thing, the sun isn't just about individual happiness. It's also about sharing your joy with others. It's about radiating positivity, inspiring those around you, and making the world a brighter place. Maybe you have a talent, a gift, a passion that you want to share with the world. The sun is telling you to go for it, to use your unique abilities to make a difference, to uplift others, to spread love and light. It's about recognizing that you have something valuable to offer and that the world needs your gifts. Don't be afraid to shine your light, to be your authentic self, to share your joy with others. Because when you do, you create a ripple effect of positivity that can transform the world. And really, what could be better than that? Also, the sun represents vitality and energy. It's about feeling healthy, vibrant, and full of life. It's about taking care of your body, nourishing your mind, and connecting with your spirit. Maybe you've been feeling tired, drained, or uninspired. The sun is telling you to recharge your batteries, to reconnect with your passions, and to embrace the joy of living. It's about making healthy choices, prioritizing your well-being, and surrounding yourself with positive energy. Okay, so as we wrap up this reading with the sun, I want you to really embrace this feeling of joy, abundance, and clarity. Know that you deserve to be happy, that you're worthy of success, and that you have the power to create the life of your dreams. The Garnet butterfly has illuminated your path. The Strength card has given you the courage to overcome any obstacle, and the sun is shining its light on your desires, revealing the joy and fulfillment that await you. So go out there and shine, my friend, because you are truly radiant. Now, let's see what other secrets these cards have in store for us, because, oh honey, we are not done yet. Okay, so, oh my goodness, are you ready for this? After all of that amazing energy, we have the Death card. Now, don't freak out, okay? I know the Death card can be super scary, but trust me, it's not about physical death. It's about transformation, endings, and new beginnings. It's about shedding the old to make way for the new. And honestly, after the Six of Cups, Strength, and the Sun, this card is like the perfect next step. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you've remembered the past, you've found your strength, you're feeling all that joy. Now it's time to release what's holding you back. And that release, that ending, is absolutely necessary for this confession to fully bloom. Think about it this way. With the Garnet butterfly illuminating your path, the Death card is showing you what needs to be cleared away so that you can truly step into your power, step into the sunshine. It's like you can't build a new house on a shaky foundation, right? You need to demolish the old one first. This is demolition time, baby. So what exactly is dying here? What's ending? Well, it could be a lot of things. It could be an old identity, a limiting belief, a toxic relationship, a job that's no longer serving you, a way of life that's just not working anymore. It's something that's been holding you back from fully expressing your true self, from pursuing your desires, from stepping into that sunny future that the Sun card promised. Maybe the Six of Cups brought up memories of a past relationship where you played a certain role, like the caretaker, the martyr, or the people pleaser. And maybe the Strength card helped you realize that you don't want to play that role anymore. The Death card is saying, okay, good. Let that role die. Let that version of yourself die. It's time to embrace a new identity, one where you prioritize your own needs, where you set healthy boundaries, and where you're not afraid to be authentic. Or maybe the Six of Cups reminded you of a childhood dream that you abandoned because you thought it was impractical. And maybe the Strength card gave you the courage to pursue that dream again. The Death card is saying, okay, great. Let go of the belief that you're not good enough, that you're not talented enough, that you're not worthy of success. It's time to embrace your passions, to take risks, and to believe in yourself. Seriously, trust yourself here. Another possibility is that the death card is related to the person you want to confess to. Maybe there's an old dynamic between you two that needs to shift. Maybe you've been stuck in the friend zone, or maybe you've been playing games with each other. The death card is saying, okay, it's time to be honest. It's time to be vulnerable. It's time to let go of the fear of rejection and just put your heart on the line. It's like you can't move forward if you're still clinging to the past. You need to clear the air to be transparent and to allow for the possibility of something new. And you know what? That can be scary, really scary. Which is why we had that strength card. Now, I know this all sounds intense, but remember, the death card isn't about destruction for the sake of destruction. It's about making space for something better to come in. It's about clearing away the clutter so that you can see your path more clearly. It's about shedding the old skin so that you can grow into a new, more vibrant version of yourself. It's like, think of a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. It has to completely dissolve inside the chrysalis before it can emerge as something beautiful and new. That dissolving process can be messy and uncomfortable, but it's absolutely necessary for the transformation to occur. This is like the ultimate makeover, a soul makeover, and that's where the Sun card comes in. The sun is waiting for you on the other side of this transformation. It's like you have to go through the darkness to reach the light. You have to let go of the old to embrace the new. You have to face your fears to step into your power. And when you do, the sun will be shining brighter than ever before. The joy, the abundance, the clarity, it will all be there waiting for you. It's like, imagine you've been carrying around a heavy backpack full of rocks for years. And those rocks represent all your limiting beliefs, your fears, your past traumas. The death card is saying, okay, it's time to take off that backpack. It might feel strange at first, like you're missing something. But once you get used to being unburdened, you'll feel so much lighter, so much freer, so much more energized. But how do we actually do this? How do we let go of the things that are holding us back? Well, it's not always easy. It requires courage, self-awareness, and a willingness to face your own shadows. But the Strength card is here to remind you that you have what it takes. You have the inner power to overcome any challenge, to heal any wound, to transform any situation. It's about tapping into that inner reservoir of compassion, resilience, and self-love. It's about being gentle with yourself as you go through this process. It's about recognizing that it's okay to feel sad, angry, or scared. It's about allowing yourself to grieve the loss of what's ending. But it's also about trusting that something better is on its way. One thing that can really help is to get clear on what you want to create in your life. What do you want to replace the old with? What are your dreams, your goals, your desires? The more clarity you have on this, the easier it will be to let go of what's no longer serving you. It's like if you're clearing out your closet, it's helpful to know what kind of clothes you want to keep and what kind of clothes you want to donate. Otherwise, you might end up getting rid of something that you actually need. So, take some time to visualize your ideal future. What does it look like? What does it feel like? Who are you with? What are you doing? The more vivid you can make this vision, the more motivated you'll be to let go of the past and create that future for yourself. And don't be afraid to ask for help. Talk to a therapist, a coach, a trusted friend, or a family member. Get their support, their guidance, their perspective. Sometimes it's hard to see our own blind spots. Sometimes we need someone else to hold up a mirror and show us what we're not seeing. Also, be mindful of your energy. Transformation can be draining. Make sure you're taking care of yourself, getting enough sleep, eating healthy food, exercising, and spending time in nature. Do things that nourish your soul and bring you joy. This isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. So what about the person that this reading is about? What is the impact of this death card on them? Well, it could be that they are going through their own transformation as well. The confession, whatever it is, might be the catalyst for them to reevaluate their own life, their own choices, their own beliefs. Or it could be that they are resistant to change. They might be clinging to the old ways of doing things, and your confession might challenge them to step outside of their comfort zone. If that's the case, it's important to be patient and compassionate. Remember, Everyone processes change differently. Some people embrace it, others resist it. It's not your job to force them to change. Your job is to be true to yourself, to speak your truth, and to allow them to respond in their own way, in their own time. But I feel strongly that this change is not just impacting you, but the person you want to tell, too. Okay, so before we move on to the next card, I want you to really sit with this death card energy. What is ending in your life right now? What are you ready to let go of? What new beginnings are you calling in? Trust that this transformation is happening for your highest good. Trust that the universe has your back. Trust that the sun is waiting for you on the other side. Because trust me, it is. The garnet butterfly is helping you to see this, to feel this. The illumination is working, so get ready, because what comes next is going to be, well, you'll just have to wait and see. Okay, so, oh wow, okay, here we go, this is intense. So after all that transformation and letting go, we pull the devil. Whoa, okay, don't panic, garnet butterfly. I know the devil card can seem really scary, but it's not about being evil or anything like that. It's more about the things that are holding you back, those chains that you think you can't break free from, those patterns, those fears, those unhealthy attachments. This is like the underbelly of the sun card, you know? All that bright, shiny happiness, and now we're looking at what's lurking in the shadows. So with the garnet butterfly illuminating everything, this is about to get real. Really real. So what does the devil card actually mean? Well, at its core, it represents limitation. It's about feeling trapped, whether it's by your own thoughts, your own behaviors, or by external circumstances. It's about feeling like you don't have a choice, like you're stuck in a situation that you can't escape. But the key thing to remember is that those chains are often self-imposed. You do have a choice, even if it doesn't feel like it. That's why this card is so connected to the Strength card, remember. It's about finding the inner power to break free from those limitations, to reclaim your autonomy, to take control of your own life. It's like the universe is saying, hey, you thought you were free after the death card, but guess what? There's still some baggage to unpack. Now, how does this relate to the confession that's ready to emerge? Well, the devil card can indicate that there's some kind of fear or obsession driving this desire. Maybe you're not confessing your feelings out of genuine love and connection, but out of a need for validation, a fear of being alone, or a desire to control the situation. Maybe you're idealizing this person, putting them on a pedestal and ignoring some red flags. This card is urging you to take a step back and examine your motives. Why do you want to confess your feelings? What are you hoping to gain? Is it coming from a place of love or a place of fear? Think back to the Six of Cups, okay? That card was all about the past, about old patterns and relationships. The Devil card can indicate that you're repeating some of those old patterns in this situation. Maybe you're attracted to someone who's emotionally unavailable, just like in the past. Or maybe you're falling into the same codependent dynamics that you've experienced before. The Devil card is asking you to break free from those cycles, to heal those old wounds, and to create healthier, more balanced relationships. It's like, hey, you thought you healed that, but it's back, baby. Time to level up. And remember the Sun card, all that joy and abundance. The Devil card can be a warning against getting too caught up in the external world, in seeking happiness from external sources. It's about remembering that true happiness comes from within, from cultivating inner peace and self-love. It's about not relying on someone else to make you happy, but creating your own happiness, regardless of your relationship status. It's like the universe is saying, hey, don't get too attached to that sunshine. Remember to find the light within yourself too. The Devil card can also represent a specific person in your life, someone who's manipulative, controlling, or toxic. This could be the person you want to confess to, or it could be someone else who's influencing the situation. Maybe this person is playing games with your emotions, leading you on, or making you feel like you're not good enough. Or maybe they're sabotaging your efforts to move forward, filling you with doubt and fear. The Devil card is urging you to set healthy boundaries with this person, to protect your energy, and to not let them control you. It's about recognizing the red flags and taking action to remove yourself from the situation, if necessary. Okay, So let's say, for example, that the person you want to confess to is constantly sending you mixed signals. One minute they're all over you, the next minute they're distant and cold. They might be showering you with compliments and attention one day, and then ignoring you the next. This is a classic manipulation tactic, designed to keep you hooked and insecure. The Devil card is saying, "Wake up! This person is not good for you. Don't fall for their games." It's about recognizing that you deserve someone who's consistent, honest, and respectful. Someone who values you for who you are, not someone who's trying to control you. Or let's say that you have a friend who's constantly criticizing you, putting you down, or making you feel like you're not good enough. They might be jealous of your success, or they might just be insecure themselves. The Devil card is saying, "This person is draining your energy. Distance yourself from them. Surround yourself with people who lift you up and support you." It's about recognizing that you deserve to be around people who make you feel good, not people who make you feel bad. But the Devil card isn't always about external forces. It can also represent your own internal demons, your own limiting beliefs, your own self-sabotaging behaviors. Maybe you have a deep-seated fear of rejection, which is preventing you from being vulnerable and authentic. Or maybe you have a negative self-talk pattern that's constantly undermining your confidence. The Devil card is urging you to confront those internal demons, to heal those old wounds, and to break free from those limiting beliefs. It's about recognizing that you are worthy of love, of success, of happiness, and that you don't have to let your fears control you. Think about it. Are you addicted to something? Addicted to their attention, addicted to the drama, addicted to the chase? The Devil card is all about addiction, about those things that we know are bad for us, but we can't seem to let go of. It's about recognizing those unhealthy attachments and finding the strength to break free. It's about recognizing the patterns and choosing to do things differently. So, what does all of this mean for the confession? Well, it means that you need to be really honest with yourself about your motives. Are you confessing your feelings because you genuinely love this person? Or are you trying to fill a void in your own life? Are you prepared for the possibility of rejection, or are you expecting this person to solve all your problems? Are you willing to walk away if this relationship becomes toxic or unhealthy? These are important questions to consider before you take the plunge. It's about being realistic, being grounded, and being prepared for any outcome. The Devil card can also indicate that the confession might not go as planned. The person you're telling might not be receptive, or they might even react negatively. They might be dealing with their own demons, their own fears, their own limitations. Or they might just not be the right person for you. If that's the case, it's important to remember that it's not a reflection of your worth. It just means that you're not compatible, and that's okay. You deserve someone who loves you for who you are, who supports your dreams, and who treats you with respect. So, before you confess, take a good, hard look at this situation. Are you seeing red flags? Are you ignoring your intuition? Are you being honest with yourself about your motives? If you're seeing any of these warning signs, it might be best to hold off on the confession until you've done some more inner work. It's about protecting yourself, honoring your own needs, and not settling for anything less than you deserve. Okay, Garnet Butterfly, I know this is a lot to take in. The Devil card can be really challenging, but it's also incredibly powerful. It's about facing your fears, breaking free from your limitations, and reclaiming your power. The Garnet Butterfly is here to help you illuminate those shadows, to see things clearly, and to make choices that align with your highest good. And remember, you're not alone. You have the strength within you to overcome any obstacle, to heal any wound, to transform any situation. Just trust in yourself, trust in the universe, and trust that the sun is still shining, even when the shadows seem dark. So, what guidance do we need to navigate this devil energy? What can help you break free from these chains and move forward with confidence? Let's pull the next card and see what the universe has in store for you. Because, oh honey, we are definitely not done yet. Okay. So, after all that devil energy, we pull the Seven of Swords. Oh honey, this is getting interesting. Okay, so right away what I'm seeing is... Well, it's not the most honest card in the deck, is it? It's about sneaking around deception, maybe even feeling like you have to, like, steal something away. So immediately, it makes me think about that devil card, because it's like, are these connected? Are we still dealing with some shadow stuff here? Because the Seven of Swords, it's all about secrets, right? It's about not being totally upfront, maybe even being a little bit manipulative. And it doesn't necessarily mean you're being malicious, but it does mean you're not being completely honest, either with yourself or with the other person. So thinking about this confession that's ready to emerge, it's like, is there something you're not saying? Something you're holding back? Something you're trying to get away with? And again, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means there might be some hidden motives at play here, and the Garnet butterfly is screaming at us to take a look. Because maybe, deep down, you don't really believe you deserve this person. Maybe you think you have to, like, trick them into liking you, or manipulate the situation in your favor. And that's a devil card thing, right? That's that feeling of limitation, that feeling of not being good enough, that feeling of needing to control everything because you don't trust the universe to provide. So this Seven of Swords is almost like a symptom of that devil energy. It's the behavior that comes out when you're feeling trapped and insecure. Or another possibility is that you're being dishonest with yourself about what you really want. Maybe you think you want this confession to lead to a serious relationship, but deep down, you're just looking for some validation, some attention, some fun. And again, there's nothing wrong with that. But it's important to be honest with yourself about it, so you don't end up hurting yourself or the other person. So this Seven of Swords is like a little wake-up call. It's saying, hey, are you really being honest with yourself here? Are you really being true to your desires? Now, it doesn't necessarily mean you're lying. It could just be that you're not fully aware of your own motives. Maybe you're so caught up in the fantasy of this confession that you haven't really stopped to think about what you're hoping to achieve. And that's where the strategy comes in, right? Because the Seven of Swords isn't just about deception, it's also about strategy. It's about planning your moves, thinking ahead, and trying to get the best possible outcome. So maybe you're not trying to be sneaky, maybe you're just trying to be smart. Maybe you're trying to figure out the best way to approach this confession, the best time to say it, the best words to use. Like, are you thinking about how this person might react? Are you considering their feelings, their needs, their perspective? Or are you just so focused on your own desires that you're not really seeing them as a whole person? That's what we need to figure out. Because there's a big difference between being strategic and being manipulative. Strategy is about being thoughtful and considerate, while manipulation is about trying to control someone else's behavior. And that's where it gets tricky, right? Because sometimes the line between strategy and manipulation can be really blurry. Like, maybe you're trying to create the perfect romantic atmosphere before you confess your feelings. You light some candles, put on some music, and pour some wine. Is that being strategic, or is that being manipulative? Well, it depends on your intentions, doesn't it? If you're doing it because you genuinely want to create a special moment for both of you, then it's probably just being strategic. But if you're doing it because you're trying to lower their inhibitions and make them more likely to say yes, then it's definitely leaning towards manipulation. Or maybe you're trying to find out if they're single before you confess your feelings. You ask their friends, you check their social media, you subtly bring up the topic of relationships in conversation. Is that being strategic, or is that being sneaky? Again, it depends on your intentions. If you're just trying to avoid embarrassing yourself, then it's probably just being strategic. But if you're trying to gather information so you can use it against them later, then it's definitely being sneaky. So, the Seven of Swords is really asking you to examine your intentions. Are you coming from a place of love or a place of fear? Are you trying to connect with this person, or are you trying to control them? Because if you're coming from a place of fear or control, then this confession is probably not going to go the way you want it to. But if you're coming from a place of love and connection, then you have a much better chance of success. And that's where the Strength card comes back into play. Because to be truly honest, to be truly vulnerable, takes a lot of courage, right? It takes a lot of inner strength to put your heart on the line and risk rejection. the Seven of Swords can almost be like a coward's way out. It's like you're trying to get what you want without actually having to face your fears. You're trying to sneak in the back door instead of walking through the front. But the Strength card is saying, no, you don't need to sneak. You have the power within you to be direct, to be honest, to be authentic. And that's what's ultimately going to be more rewarding, isn't it? To know that you got what you wanted because you were brave enough to be yourself, not because you tricked someone into liking you. And thinking back to the Six of Cups, is this sneakiness a pattern from the past? Did you learn to be this way because you felt like you couldn't be yourself in your past relationships? Did you feel like you had to hide parts of yourself or manipulate situations in order to get what you wanted? The Six of Cups is asking you to heal those old wounds, to break free from those patterns, and to create healthier, more honest relationships in the present. It's about recognizing that you are worthy of love, just as you are. You don't need to change yourself. You don't need to manipulate anyone. You just need to be yourself. But also, the Six of Cups, it could be that there's something about your history with this person that makes a direct approach feel impossible. Like maybe you've been friends for years and you're afraid of ruining the friendship. Or maybe there's some other complication that makes a straightforward confession feel too risky. In that case, the Seven of Swords might be suggesting that a little bit of strategy is necessary. That you need to test the waters, feel out the situation, before you take the plunge. But even then, it's important to be mindful of your intentions. Make sure you're not being manipulative, make sure you're not leading the other person on, and make sure you're being honest with yourself about what you really want. And with the Sun card looming, it's like, is this strategy going to lead to sunshine and happiness, or is it going to create more complications and shadows? Because the Sun is all about clarity and honesty, right? It's about shining a light on the truth and embracing joy. So, if your strategy is based on deception or manipulation, it's probably not going to lead to a sunny outcome. It might work in the short term, but eventually the truth will come out, and it could damage the relationship. But if your strategy is based on thoughtfulness and consideration, if you're genuinely trying to create a positive experience for both of you, then it could definitely lead to a sunny outcome. It could help you to connect with this person on a deeper level, to build trust and intimacy, and to create a lasting bond. So really, this Seven of Swords, it's a tricky card. It could be a warning against dishonesty, or it could be a suggestion to be strategic. It really depends on your intentions and the specific circumstances of your situation. And the Garnet butterfly is like, girl, you need to figure this out. So, what does this all mean? Is this Seven of Swords a sign you should proceed with caution, or is it a green light to get sneaky? I don't know. But maybe, just maybe, the next card will give us some clarity. Because honey, we are so not done yet. Okay, so, wow, after that Seven of Swords energy, we pull the Eight of Pentacles. Okay, so right away, what I'm seeing is a focus on skill, dedication, hard work, Like someone who's really putting in the effort to master their craft or to achieve a goal. It's like after all that sneakiness and strategy, we're now being called to get grounded, get practical, and really focus on the details, So how does this connect with the Seven of Swords with that confession? That's what we gotta figure out. Okay, so, first thought that comes to mind is, maybe the Eight of Pentacles is telling us that instead of trying to be sneaky or manipulative, you should be focusing on developing your skills, right? Like, if you're feeling insecure about confessing your feelings, maybe it's because you don't feel like you're good enough for this person. And the Eight of Pentacles is saying, okay, instead of trying to trick them into liking you, why not focus on becoming the best version of yourself? Like, what are your strengths? What are your passions? What are you good at? Put your energy into those things and let that confidence shine through. Because honestly, that's way more attractive than any sneaky tactic. I think you need to see, what do you have to offer? What skills do you have that you need to hone and really embrace? Maybe you feel like you have nothing to offer, But that's just not true, Garnet butterfly. Everyone has something unique and special to bring to the table. It's just a matter of discovering what that is and then putting in the work to develop it. Like maybe you're a great listener, or a talented artist, or a really funny person. Whatever it is, embrace it, own it, and let it shine. And think how this ties back to the Sun card, you know? Like instead of seeking validation from someone else, you are creating your own sunshine. You are building that inner confidence that comes from knowing you are skilled, you are talented, you are worthy. And it could be the confession is what you are working hard on. Like you are using all the tools at your disposal to craft the perfect moment. But are you putting too much pressure on yourself? Is that pressure making you a little dishonest? Maybe you're overthinking it, you know? Maybe you're so focused on getting the right outcome that you're not really being present in the moment. The Eight of Pentacles can sometimes be a warning against perfectionism, against getting so caught up in the details that you lose sight of the bigger picture. It's like you're so busy trying to craft the perfect confession that you're not even enjoying the connection with this person. So, instead of focusing on the outcome, try to focus on the process. Try to enjoy the journey of getting to know this person, of building a connection, of sharing your true self. And trust that if it's meant to be, it will be. And if it's not, that's okay too. The world isn't going to end. You will learn something from the experience and you will move on to something even better. But here's another thought. Maybe the Eight of Pentacles is telling you that you need to do your homework before you make this confession. I know, it sounds so unromantic, right? But hear me out. Remember that Seven of Swords can indicate hidden information, things you're not fully aware of. So maybe there's something you need to learn about this person before you put your heart on the line. Like, are they in a relationship? Are they emotionally available? Are they even interested in you? I know it sounds harsh, but sometimes a little bit of research can save you a lot of heartache. But remember, the key is to do this research in a respectful way, right? Don't go full in stalker mode. Just try to gather some information so you can make an informed decision about whether or not to proceed with the confession. This ties back to the Strength card too, right? It takes strength to be honest, but it also takes strength to know when to hold back. And remember the Devil card. Is there an addiction happening here? If so, you may not be seeing this person or situation clearly. Okay, but let's say you've done your research, and you're pretty sure this person is single, available, and interested. Does that mean you should just go for it, guns blazing? Not necessarily. The Eight of Pentacles can also be a reminder to pace yourself. Don't rush into things, don't get too ahead of yourself, and don't put too much pressure on this person. Let the relationship develop naturally, let the feelings unfold organically, and trust that everything will happen in its own time. The universe has a plan, and it's usually a lot better than whatever plan we come up with on our own. Trust in the timing, and try to enjoy the journey. The Sun card reminds us that joy is the destination. So, is the Eight of Pentacles saying that this confession is a project that needs to be perfected? That you need to practice your delivery, rehearse your lines, and make sure everything is just right? I don't think so. That sounds way too much like the Seven of Swords energy, like you're trying to manipulate the situation to get the outcome you want. The Eight of Pentacles is more about putting in the work to become a better version of yourself, so that you can attract the right person into your life. It's about focusing on your own growth, your own development, and your own happiness. And think back to the Death card too. You need to see what's ended and what's beginning, and how your efforts can make that transition even smoother. You may need to craft something new in your life to reflect this new beginning. But what if you are being too strategic? What if you are overthinking it? What if you're so focused on getting the perfect outcome that you're missing the whole point? Well, the Eight of Pentacles can be a reminder to get out of your head and into your heart. To stop analyzing everything and just let your feelings guide you. To trust your intuition, to be authentic, and to let your true self shine through. Remember, the goal isn't to win someone over, it's to connect with them on a deeper level. And that requires vulnerability, honesty, and a willingness to be yourself, flaws and all. Like, what's the worst that could happen? They don't feel the same way. Okay, that sucks, but it's not the end of the world. You will survive, you will learn, and you will move on. But at least you'll know that you were true to yourself, and that you didn't compromise your values or your integrity. The Eight of Pentacles also suggests that you need to be patient, okay? this isn't a sprint. This is a marathon. It takes time to build a strong relationship, to develop deep feelings, and to create a lasting connection. So don't expect everything to happen overnight. Don't put too much pressure on yourself or on the other person. And don't get discouraged if things don't go exactly as planned. Just keep putting in the work, keep showing up, and keep being your authentic self. Trust that the universe is working in your favor, even if you can't see it right now. The sun is coming up on the horizon, and it's going to be beautiful. So what's the bottom line here, Garnet Butterfly? The Eight of Pentacles is telling you to focus on skill, dedication, and effort. To develop your strengths, to be authentic, and to trust the process. But it's also reminding you to be careful not to overthink it, to be strategic, or to lose sight of the bigger picture. Find the balance between planning and spontaneity, between strategy and authenticity, and between effort and ease. And remember, the most important thing is to be true to yourself. The Garnet Butterfly is helping you to see what that true self is. Okay, so is this confession going to be a masterpiece, a work of art, a testament to your skill and dedication? Or is it going to be a clumsy, awkward, and ultimately unsuccessful attempt to manipulate someone into liking you? We don't know yet. But maybe, just maybe, the next card will shed some more light on this situation. Because, oh honey, we are definitely not done. Okay, Garnet Butterfly, are you ready for this final piece of the puzzle? Because here it is, the world. Oh my gosh, like, after everything we've been through, all the ups and downs, all the twists and turns, we finally arrive at this place of absolute completion, of total fulfillment. It's like reaching the summit of a mountain after a long and arduous climb, and just taking in that breathtaking view, you know. It's that feeling of, I did it. I actually did it. The World card, it's not just about achieving a goal, it's about realizing your full potential. It's about integrating all those different parts of yourself, the good, the bad, the ugly, and accepting them all as part of the whole. It's about understanding that everything you've experienced, every challenge you've overcome, has led you to this very moment, and that you are exactly where you're supposed to be. And that feeling alone is like pure magic, right? This card represents wholeness, harmony, and a deep sense of interconnectedness with everything around you. It's about recognizing that you're not just an individual, you're part of something bigger, something more meaningful. So, with the Garnet Butterfly shining its light on this final stage, the world is like the ultimate illumination, the final piece of the puzzle falling into place. It's about seeing the big picture, understanding the grand scheme of things, and recognizing your place in the universe. It's about feeling a sense of peace, of contentment, of knowing that everything is exactly as it should be. Like, all that stuff we've been digging through, that's led to this. Now, how does this relate to the confession that's been brewing? Well, the world often indicates a successful outcome, a positive resolution, a sense of closure. It's like you've built up all this courage, you've faced all your fears, and now you're ready to share your feelings with this person. And the world is saying, go for it. The universe is on your side. It suggests that the confession will be well received, that the person you're telling will be open, understanding, and maybe even reciprocate your feelings. It's like all the stars are aligning, the timing is perfect, and everything is falling into place. But even more importantly, the world suggests that regardless of the outcome, you will be okay. You will have learned something valuable from the experience, you will have grown as a person, and you will be ready to move on to the next chapter of your life. It's like the journey is just as important as the destination, and even if you don't get the answer you were hoping for, you will still have gained something priceless along the way. You know, that inner strength, that self-awareness, that sense of completion. The world also represents a cycle coming to an end, but also the beginning of a new cycle. It's like you've reached the end of one chapter and now you're ready to start a new one. This confession, it could be the catalyst for that new beginning. It could be the thing that propels you forward, that opens up new possibilities, that leads you to even greater happiness and fulfillment. Or it could be the thing that helps you to release the past, to let go of old patterns, and to create space for something new to come in. Either way, it's a significant turning point in your life, a moment of transformation, a chance to step into your full potential. It's like the world is saying, okay, you've completed this level, now get ready for the next one. But remember, it's not just about romantic love, it's about all aspects of your life. The world can also indicate success in your career, in your creative pursuits, in your personal growth. It's about feeling a sense of accomplishment, of knowing that you're living your purpose, of making a difference in the world. It's about embracing your unique gifts, sharing your talents with others, and leaving a positive impact on the planet. It's like you're not just achieving your own goals, you're contributing to the greater good, you're making the world a better place. And that is a truly amazing feeling. Okay, so let's tie this all back to those other cards, shall we? Because this journey started way back with the Six of Cups, right? That card was all about the past, about nostalgia, about those childhood memories and old connections. And now, with the world, it's like you've integrated those past experiences, you've learned from them, and you're ready to move forward with a newfound sense of wisdom and understanding. You've healed those old wounds, you've released those limiting beliefs, and you're ready to create a brighter future for yourself. And then we had the Strength card, which was all about inner power, courage, and compassion. And now, with the world, it's like you've fully embodied that strength, you've overcome your fears, and you're ready to step into your full potential. You're no longer afraid to be vulnerable, to be authentic, to speak your truth. You're confident in your own abilities, you're compassionate towards yourself and others, and you're ready to face whatever comes your way with grace and resilience. And that Sun card, all that joy and abundance. With the world, it's like you've fully embraced that happiness. You've created a life that's filled with meaning and purpose, and you're ready to share that joy with others. You're no longer seeking validation from external sources, you're creating your own sunshine, and you're radiating that positivity out into the world. Then came the Death card, and that scary transformation. The world says that you've fully embraced that change, you've let go of what no longer serves you, and you're ready to step into a new beginning. You're no longer clinging to the past, you're embracing the present, and you're looking forward to the future with excitement and anticipation. The Devil card warned us of limitations, but the world confirms that you've broken free from those chains, you've overcome those unhealthy attachments, and you're ready to claim your autonomy. You're no longer defined by your fears, you're defined by your courage, your strength, and your authenticity. That Seven of Swords, the sneakiness. With the world, hopefully, you've learned to be honest, to be direct, to be authentic, and you're ready to communicate your feelings with clarity and integrity. You're no longer trying to manipulate the situation, you're trusting in the universe, and you're allowing things to unfold naturally. And finally, the Eight of Pentacles, all that hard work. The world is saying that you've put in the effort, you've honed your skills, and you're ready to reap the rewards. You're no longer doubting yourself, you're confident in your abilities, and you're ready to share your gifts with the world. So, Garnet Butterfly, where does that leave you? You're standing on the precipice of something amazing, something transformative, something truly world-changing. You have the power to create the life of your dreams, to manifest your deepest desires, and to make a positive impact on the world. All you have to do is believe in yourself, trust in the universe, and take that leap of faith. So, take a deep breath, connect with your inner wisdom, and listen to your heart. What is it telling you to do? What action do you need to take? What step do you need to make? Trust that you know the answer, trust that you have everything you need, and trust that the universe is guiding you every step of the way. And don't be afraid to ask for help, okay? Reach out to your friends, your family, your mentors, and let them support you on this journey. Share your dreams, share your fears, and let them remind you of your strength and your worth. You are not alone, you are loved, and you are capable of anything you set your mind to. And remember, it's not just about the destination, it's about the journey. Enjoy the process, embrace the challenges, and celebrate the victories. Be present in each moment, savor each experience, and appreciate all the blessings in your life. Because life is a gift, and it's meant to be lived to the fullest. Now, about the confession. Just be yourself. I know it sounds so cliché, right? But it's true. Don't try to be someone you're not. Don't try to say what you think they want to hear. Just be authentic, be vulnerable, and be honest. Let them see the real you, the beautiful, imperfect, amazing you. And if they don't reciprocate your feelings, that's okay. It's not a reflection of your worth, it just means that you're not compatible, and that's perfectly fine. There are plenty of other fish in the sea, and you will find someone who loves you for who you are. But if they do reciprocate your feelings, oh honey, get ready for some magic. Get ready for a love that's deep, meaningful, and transformative. Get ready for a relationship that supports your growth, that celebrates your individuality, and that brings you joy beyond your wildest dreams. The world is truly your oyster, Garnet Butterfly. So as we come to the end of this reading, I want to remind you of the Garnet Butterfly and its theme of illumination. You have the power to illuminate your own path, to shine your light brightly, and to inspire others to do the same. You are a beacon of hope, a source of inspiration, and a force for good in the world. Embrace your power, embrace your potential, and embrace your destiny. The universe is waiting for you, and it's ready to shower you with blessings. So go out there and create the life you've always dreamed of. Be bold, be brave, and be unapologetically yourself. Because you are amazing, you are worthy, and you are capable of anything. And with that, Garnet Butterfly, I am going to leave this reading. Thank you so much for watching and for letting me read for you. If you'd like to support me, you can like this video, you can comment, you can subscribe, and you can share this reading with someone who might need it. And just remember to trust in yourself, to trust in the universe, and to trust that everything is always working out for your highest good. Bye for now. Okay, so Amber Dragon Awakening. This is all about igniting dormant truths, the revelations that are striving to be heard. So already this feels like a reading about something that's been waiting to come out, something that you're ready to finally see. Let's jump right into these cards. First up, we have Temperance, and oh my gosh, Temperance is all about balance, right? It's about finding that middle ground, about blending different energies and aspects of yourself. So immediately, what I'm getting is that this dormant truth, this revelation, it requires you to find some sort of equilibrium within yourself first. It's not something that you can just rush into. You need to take a moment, take a breath, and really assess where you're at, where all the different parts of you are at. Because temperance isn't just about balance for the sake of balance, it's also about integration, about bringing all those different pieces together to create something new, something stronger, something more complete. So, what are the different parts of you that might be at odds right now? What are the conflicting desires or beliefs that are making it hard for you to see this truth clearly? Maybe there's a part of you that's really excited about this potential revelation, but another part that's scared, that's worried about what it might mean. Or maybe it's about balancing your head and your heart. Are you overthinking things, getting lost in the details and the logistics? Or are you letting your emotions cloud your judgment? Temperance is asking you to find that sweet spot where your logic and your intuition can work together, where you can make decisions that are both smart and aligned with your values. Because, you know, sometimes the truth isn't always what we want it to be, right? It can be messy, it can be complicated, it can challenge our beliefs. But if we can approach it with a sense of balance and openness, we're much more likely to see it for what it really is and integrate it into our lives in a healthy way. And you know what else I'm seeing here? Maybe this dormant truth, it's not just about you, it's about a relationship, maybe even a partnership. Temperance can often represent partnerships, whether they're romantic or business or even just a close friendship. So maybe there's an imbalance in one of your key relationships that needs to be addressed before this truth can fully emerge. Are you giving too much and not receiving enough? Are you constantly compromising your own needs to keep the peace? Or are you being too rigid and inflexible, not willing to meet the other person halfway? It could be something as simple as needing to communicate more openly and honestly, to really listen to each other's perspectives without judgment. Because sometimes the truth is hidden beneath layers of unspoken resentments and misunderstandings. Or, okay, here's another possibility. Maybe this truth is about your career path. Are you feeling balanced in your work life? Are you using your skills and talents in a way that feels fulfilling? Or are you stuck in a job that's draining your energy and not aligned with your values? Temperance could be a sign that you need to reevaluate your priorities and find a way to create more harmony between your work and your personal life. Maybe it's time to explore new opportunities, to take a class or learn a new skill, or even just to set better boundaries so you're not constantly feeling overwhelmed. Because the truth might be that you're capable of so much more than you're currently giving yourself credit for, but you need to find that inner balance first to unlock your full potential. It's like, imagine you're trying to mix a potion, right? You have all these different ingredients, each with its own unique properties and qualities. If you just throw them all together without any thought or care, you're likely to end up with a mess, something that's either too strong or too weak or just plain unpalatable. But if you take the time to carefully measure each ingredient, to blend them together in the right proportions, you can create something truly magical, something that's both potent and delicious. That's what temperance is all about. It's about taking those different aspects of your life, those different parts of yourself, and blending them together in a way that creates something harmonious and powerful. And I think that Amber Dragon Crystal really amplifies this message, because amber is all about awakening, about bringing things to the surface, about illuminating what was once hidden. So it's like this temperance card is telling you that you have the power to create balance and harmony in your life. But the Amber Dragon is reminding you that you also have the power to see the truth, to uncover what's been hidden beneath the surface. And those two things go hand in hand. Because when you're balanced and grounded, you're much more able to see things clearly, to perceive the truth without distortion or bias. Okay, so that's temperance. But what happens after you find that balance? What happens when you finally integrate those different parts of yourself? Well, that's where the sun comes in. The sun is pure joy, pure radiance, pure clarity. It's that feeling of absolute certainty, of knowing exactly who you are and what you want. It's like all the pieces of the puzzle finally click into place, and you can see the whole picture with perfect clarity. Oh my God, I love the sun. So after all that balancing and integrating with temperance, the sun is like, boom. It's the feeling of liberation, of finally breaking free from whatever was holding you back. It's like you've been walking in the shadows for so long and suddenly you step out into the sunlight and everything just feels brighter. So, what does this mean in the context of this dormant truth? Well, it could mean that once you find that inner balance, once you integrate those different parts of yourself, the truth will become blindingly obvious. It will be like a light bulb going off in your head, and you'll suddenly see everything in a completely new way. Maybe you've been struggling with a difficult decision for a long time, weighing the pros and cons, trying to figure out the best course of action. But once you achieve that temperance, that inner harmony, the answer will become crystal clear. You'll just know what you need to do without any doubt or hesitation. Or maybe you've been feeling lost and confused about your purpose in life, unsure of what you're meant to be doing. The sun could be a sign that you're about to have a major breakthrough, a moment of profound clarity where you finally understand your true calling. It's like you'll suddenly realize what you're passionate about, what you're good at, and how you can use your gifts to make a difference in the world. And the sun isn't just about clarity, it's also about joy and optimism. It's about feeling good about yourself, about your life, about your future. So this dormant truth, it's not something to be feared or dreaded. It's something that's going to bring you immense happiness and fulfillment. It's like you've been carrying around this heavy weight for so long, and you're finally ready to put it down and step into the light. This truth is going to liberate you. It's going to empower you. It's going to fill you with a sense of hope and excitement about what's to come. Think about it like this. Imagine you're a plant that's been growing in the dark. You've been struggling to survive, reaching for any little bit of light that you can find. But now, you're finally being moved into the sunshine. You can feel the warmth on your leaves, the energy coursing through your veins. You're finally able to thrive, to blossom, to reach your full potential. That's what the sun represents. It's about finally having the opportunity to shine, to express yourself fully, to be seen and appreciated for who you truly are. And again, Connecting this back to the amber dragon, that awakening energy, it's like the crystal is amplifying this sense of joy and clarity. It's not just about seeing the truth, it's about feeling the truth in every cell of your being. It's about knowing that you're on the right path, that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. It's about trusting your intuition, trusting your inner guidance, and knowing that everything is going to be okay. Okay, but here's the thing, the sun isn't just about basking in the glory of your newfound clarity. It's also about taking action, about sharing your light with the world. And that's where the Knight of Swords comes in. The Knight of Swords is all about decisive action, about cutting through the BS and getting straight to the point. He's the kind of guy who doesn't hesitate, who doesn't second-guess himself. He sees what needs to be done and he goes for it, full speed ahead. So, after you've found that balance with temperance and experienced that clarity and joy with the sun, the Knight of Swords is telling you that it's time to act on this dormant truth. It's time to speak your mind, to stand up for what you believe in, to take a bold step forward. This isn't the time to be timid or cautious. This is the time to be brave, to be assertive, to be unapologetically yourself. Maybe this means having a difficult conversation with someone, telling them how you really feel, setting boundaries, or ending a relationship that's no longer serving you. Maybe it means pursuing a new career path, launching a business, or taking a risk that you've been putting off for too long. Or maybe it just means speaking up in a meeting, sharing your ideas, and taking on a leadership role. Whatever it is, the Knight of Swords is urging you to take action, to not let fear hold you back. Think of him as the messenger, delivering a crucial piece of information that needs to be heard. He's not going to sugarcoat anything. He's not going to beat around the bush. He's going to tell it like it is, with honesty and directness. And that's exactly what you need to do too. You need to be clear, concise, and confident in your communication. You need to cut through the noise and get straight to the heart of the matter. Because this truth, it's not going to reveal itself passively. It requires you to actively seek it out, to confront it head-on, to wield your sword and fight for what you believe in. But here's the thing about the Knight of Swords. He can sometimes be a little reckless, a little impulsive. He's so eager to take action that he can sometimes overlook important details or fail to consider the consequences of his actions. So, while it's important to be decisive and assertive, it's also important to be mindful and strategic. Don't just charge blindly into battle without a plan. Take a moment to assess the situation, to consider all the angles, and to make sure you're not acting out of anger or frustration. Remember that temperance card. That balance is still important, even in the face of urgent action. You don't want to undo all the progress you've made by acting rashly or impulsively. So, take a deep breath, stay grounded, and make sure you're acting from a place of strength and clarity, not from a place of fear or desperation. And remember that amber dragon energy, that awakening, is still with you. It's guiding you, it's empowering you, it's helping you to see the truth and to act on it with confidence and integrity. It's about igniting that dormant truth not just for yourself, but also for the world around you. By speaking your truth, you're inspiring others to do the same, creating a ripple effect of honesty and authenticity. Wow, this is powerful stuff. Okay, wow, so after that Knight of Swords energy, after all that decisive action and cutting through the BS, we've got the Four of Wands, and that is just like pure celebration, pure joy, pure community. So where does that fit in? I mean, could this be that the action that the Knight of Swords takes leads to this? Like maybe taking that bold step, speaking your truth, finally creates this space of celebration and belonging. Think about it, maybe you've been holding back for so long, afraid to rock the boat, afraid to be yourself. And then you finally just do it, you know. You say what needs to be said, you make that change you've been dreaming of, and suddenly it's like you're surrounded by people who get you, who support you, who are cheering you on. It's like you've finally found your tribe, your safe space, your place where you can just be yourself without fear of judgment. This could be about building bridges after taking a stand. Like maybe the Knight of Swords had to, I don't know, sever some ties or create some distance in order to stay true to themselves. And the Four of Wands is showing that, actually, that created space for new connections to come in, better connections, more authentic connections that are more aligned with your values and your true self. This reminds me of that amber dragon energy, like almost shedding old skin to reveal something new and shiny. Or, okay, here's another thought. Maybe the Four of Wands isn't the result of the Knight of Swords action, but actually something that needs to be in place before that action can happen. Maybe this sense of community, this feeling of belonging, is the foundation that gives you the courage to be so bold, to be so decisive. Like, think about it. It's a lot easier to speak your truth when you know you have people in your corner, right? When you know you're not alone, when you know you have a support system to fall back on. The Four of Wands could be telling you that you need to build that foundation first, to cultivate those relationships, to create that safe space for yourself, so that when you do take that leap of faith, you know you're not going to fall. It's like charging your batteries before a big battle, you know? You need that energy, that support, to fuel your actions. And it doesn't have to be a huge group of people, either. It could just be a few close friends, a supportive family member, or even just a strong connection with yourself. The point is, you need to feel grounded, you need to feel safe, you need to feel like you belong, before you can truly step into your power and wield that sword like the Knight of Swords. Maybe it's about actively seeking out those connections, prioritizing those relationships that lift you up, that make you feel seen and heard and appreciated. Because that's what the Four of Wands is all about, right? It's about celebrating those connections, acknowledging the importance of community, and creating a space where everyone feels welcome and valued. Okay, but here's another twist. What if the Four of Wands is actually about finding the celebration within the action itself? Like, maybe the Knight of Swords actions don't necessarily lead to a party or a big celebration, but maybe there's a sense of joy and fulfillment that comes from simply taking that action, from standing up for what you believe in, from being true to yourself. It's like the celebration is internal. It's the satisfaction of knowing you did the right thing, even if it was hard, even if it was scary. It's about recognizing that every step you take towards your truth is a victory in itself, a reason to celebrate your courage and your commitment. This could tie back to the Sun card too, that pure joy and clarity, that feeling of liberation. It's like, even if the external circumstances aren't perfect, you can still find joy in the process, in the journey, in the knowledge that you're moving in the right direction. This could be about reframing your perspective, about shifting your focus from the outcome to the process. Instead of worrying about what other people think or whether you'll succeed, just focus on taking that next step, on speaking your truth, on living your values, and celebrate every small victory along the way. Because that's what keeps you going, right? That's what fuels your fire. That's what reminds you that you're on the right path. And remember the amber dragon, you know. The crystal is all about awakening, like it's urging you to find that joy, to find that celebration, even in the midst of challenging times. It's about recognizing the inherent beauty and goodness in the world, even when things feel dark or difficult. But also, okay, I'm thinking about the Temperance card again, that balance. How does that fit into all of this? Maybe the Four of Wands is a reminder that you need to find a balance between action and rest, between pushing yourself forward and taking time to celebrate your accomplishments. You can't just be in constant action mode, right? You need to take breaks. You need to recharge your batteries. You need to allow yourself to enjoy the fruits of your labor. It's like the Four of Wands is a built-in pause, a moment to step back and appreciate how far you've come, to acknowledge the support system that's helped you get there, and to gather your strength for the next phase of the journey. Maybe it's about surrounding yourself with people who can help you find that balance, who can remind you to take a break when you need it, who can celebrate your wins with you, big or small. Because that's what community is all about, right? It's about supporting each other, lifting each other up, and helping each other stay on track. Or maybe it's a warning. Maybe it's saying that you need to be careful not to get too caught up in the celebration, not to let the sense of community and belonging become a crutch. The Four of Wands can sometimes represent a comfort zone, a place where you feel safe and secure, but also a place where you can become stagnant and complacent. So maybe this is a reminder to keep pushing yourself, to keep challenging yourself, to not let the fear of losing that sense of belonging hold you back from taking risks or pursuing your dreams. It's like you can appreciate the Four of Wands, you can enjoy the sense of community, but don't let it become a cage. Don't let it stop you from growing and evolving. Keep that amber dragon fire burning, keep seeking the truth, keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And okay, back to the Knight of Swords, maybe the Four of Wands is influencing how the Knight of Swords acts. Like, maybe it's not just about being bold and decisive, but also about being mindful of the impact of your actions on others. The Knight of Swords can sometimes be a little insensitive, a little too focused on his own goals. So maybe the Four of Wands is a reminder to be compassionate, to be considerate, to make sure you're not hurting anyone in your quest for truth and justice. It's about wielding that sword with wisdom and care, about using your power to uplift and empower others, not to tear them down. This could be about finding a way to speak your truth in a way that's both honest and kind, that's both assertive and respectful. It's about recognizing that everyone is on their own journey, that everyone has their own struggles and challenges, and that your actions can have a ripple effect, for better or for worse. So choose your words carefully, act with intention, and always strive to create a space of understanding and compassion, even in the midst of conflict. Wow, this is getting so layered. The Temperance, the Sun, the Knight of Swords, and now the Four of Wands. It's like each card is building on the others, creating this incredibly rich and complex picture. I am seriously so excited to see where this is all going. It feels like we're on the verge of a major breakthrough, a profound shift in perspective. And with the amber dragon crystal fueling the fire, I know that whatever's coming next is going to be powerful and transformative. Okay, I am ready for the next card. Okay, so wow, after all that buildup, after all that intense energy, we pull the Ten of Cups. Oh my gosh. Okay, so like Temperance, Sun, Knight of Swords, Four of Wands, like what does the Ten of Cups even add to that? Well, the Ten of Cups is like ultimate emotional fulfillment, right? It's that picture-perfect family scene, rainbow in the sky, everyone's happy and connected. It's the happily ever after. So it feels like it's saying that, like all that other stuff, the balance, the clarity, the action, the community. It's all leading to this place of deep, lasting emotional happiness. Okay, and like, with that amber dragon energy, we know that it's an awakening to a deeper truth about happiness, like it's not just surface-level stuff. So maybe this is saying that all that work you've been doing, it's actually paying off on a really deep, emotional level. Like, you're not just achieving goals or building connections, but you're actually creating a life that feels truly fulfilling and meaningful. Like you wake up in the morning and you're just genuinely happy to be alive, happy with the people in your life, happy with where you're at. It's that sense of contentment, that sense of knowing that you're exactly where you're supposed to be. But okay, let's dig deeper. How does this connect to Temperance? Because Temperance is all about balance, right? So maybe the Ten of Cups is saying that true emotional fulfillment comes from finding that balance within yourself, like the Temperance card was saying. Like, it's not about chasing external things, it's about cultivating inner harmony. Maybe it's about balancing your own needs with the needs of others. Like, you can't just focus on your own happiness, you need to also consider the well-being of your loved ones. But you also can't sacrifice your own happiness for the sake of others. It's about finding that sweet spot where everyone's needs are being met, where everyone feels valued and appreciated. Or, okay, maybe it's about balancing your emotions. Like, you can't just be happy all the time, right? Life has its ups and downs, its joys and sorrows. The Ten of Cups isn't about pretending that everything's perfect. It's about accepting the full range of human emotions and finding a way to navigate them with grace and resilience. It's about allowing yourself to feel sad or angry or frustrated without getting stuck in those emotions, without letting them consume you. It's about knowing that those feelings are temporary and that happiness will eventually return. Maybe true emotional fulfillment is about finding a balance between logic and emotion. You can't just let your emotions run wild. You need to also use your intellect to make rational decisions. But you also can't ignore your emotions. You need to listen to your intuition and trust your gut. Okay, so what about the sun? Because the sun is pure joy, right? It's that feeling of absolute certainty and clarity. So, how does that relate to the Ten of Cups, which is more about long-term emotional fulfillment? Well, maybe the sun is like a glimpse of that Ten of Cups energy. It's like a moment of pure joy that gives you a taste of what's possible, that reminds you of what you're striving for. It's like a beacon of hope that guides you on your path. But the Ten of Cups is more than just fleeting moments of joy. It's about building a life that's consistently filled with happiness and connection. It's about creating a foundation of love and support that can weather any storm. So maybe the sun is the spark, and the Ten of Cups is the fire that keeps burning. The sun is that initial burst of excitement, and the Ten of Cups is the long-term commitment to nurturing that excitement, to keeping it alive. It's about recognizing that happiness isn't just something that happens to you, it's something that you actively create. You have to put in the work, you have to nurture your relationships, you have to make conscious choices that support your emotional well-being. It's about building a life that's aligned with your values, that reflects your true self, that brings you genuine joy and fulfillment. Okay, and what about the Knight of Swords? Because the Knight of Swords is all about decisive action, about cutting through the BS and getting straight to the point. So, how does that relate to the Ten of Cups, which is all about emotional harmony and long-term happiness? Well, maybe the Knight of Swords is saying that sometimes you have to take decisive action in order to create that emotional harmony. Sometimes you have to make tough choices, even if they're painful, in order to protect your happiness and the happiness of your loved ones. Like, maybe you have to end a toxic relationship, even if it's with a family member. Maybe you have to set boundaries with someone who's constantly draining your energy. Maybe you have to speak your truth, even if it's uncomfortable or unpopular. The Knight of Swords is telling you that you can't just passively wait for happiness to come to you. You have to actively fight for it. You have to be willing to take risks, to make sacrifices, to stand up for what you believe in. It's about recognizing that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is to be honest, even if it hurts. Or maybe the Knight of Swords is about taking decisive action to create opportunities for connection and happiness. Maybe it's about reaching out to a friend you haven't spoken to in a while, about planning a family vacation, about starting a new hobby that brings you joy. It's about actively creating the kind of life you want to live, instead of just settling for what you have. Okay, so how does the Ten of Cups connect with the Four of Wands? This is important. The Four of Wands is all about celebration and community, about finding that sense of belonging. So, is the Ten of Cups just a bigger, better version of the Four of Wands? Is it just saying that, like, you're not just finding a community, you're finding a family? Well, maybe, but I think it's more nuanced than that. The Four of Wands is about external validation, about finding acceptance and support from others. The Ten of Cups is more about internal fulfillment, about finding happiness within yourself and your family. It's like the Four of Wands is the party, and the Ten of Cups is the feeling you have when you're sitting around the dinner table with your loved ones, feeling grateful for everything you have. The Four of Wands can be fleeting. It can be dependent on external circumstances. The Ten of Cups is more stable. It's rooted in deep emotional connections that can withstand challenges. It's like the Four of Wands is the foundation, and the Ten of Cups is the house that's built on that foundation. You need the community, you need the support, but you also need the deep, lasting emotional connections that make a house a home. This could be a reminder that true happiness isn't just about having a lot of friends or being popular. It's about having a few close relationships that you can truly count on, relationships where you feel seen, heard, and loved for who you are. But okay, here's where it gets tricky. Let's talk about the shadow side of the Ten of Cups. Because, let's be real, nobody's life is perfect, right? Nobody has that picture-perfect family seen all the time. So, what if the Ten of Cups is actually a false ideal? What if it's representing a picture-perfect image that's unattainable or even harmful? Maybe it's a reminder that you're putting too much pressure on yourself to create this perfect life. that you're sacrificing your own happiness for the sake of appearances. Maybe you're staying in a relationship that's not working because you're afraid of what people will think if you break up. Maybe you're pretending to be happy when you're actually miserable because you don't want to disappoint your family. The 10 of Cups can be a trap if you're not careful. It can be a reminder that you're so focused on creating this perfect image that you're losing sight of what truly matters, which is your own happiness and well-being. Maybe it's a warning to not get so caught up in the idea of happily ever after that you ignore the realities of life, the challenges and the struggles that are inevitable. It's about accepting that life is messy, that relationships are complicated, and that happiness isn't always easy to come by. So maybe this 10 of Cups is a call to authenticity, a reminder to be true to yourself, even if it means shattering that picture-perfect image. It's about recognizing that true happiness comes from within, not from external validation or societal expectations. It's about letting go of the need to be perfect and embracing the beauty of imperfection. It's about creating a life that's authentic, meaningful, and fulfilling, even if it doesn't look like the 10 of Cups on the surface. It means not being trapped by the expectations of others, but instead, creating your own version of happiness. Wow. Okay, so after Temperance, Sun, Knight of Swords, 4 of Wands, the 10 of Cups adds this layer of long-term emotional fulfillment, but with a huge warning about not getting caught up in unrealistic expectations. So, what does that mean for what's coming next? I have no idea, but I am so excited to find out. I mean, with that amber dragon energy still hanging in the air, I have a feeling whatever card we pull next is going to be really illuminating, maybe even a little bit shocking. I am so ready. Okay, so after all of that, after the 10 of Cups, we get the Emperor. Wow. Okay, so the 10 of Cups is all rainbows and butterflies and happy families, and then bam, the Emperor shows up with his, stern face and his scepter. It's okay, enough with the feelings, let's get down to business. So, where does this fit in? What's the Emperor trying to tell us after all that emotional stuff? Okay, so, immediately I'm thinking about that Temperance card, right? Because Temperance is all about balance, and the Emperor is all about authority. So, is there a conflict here? Are you trying to find a balance between your own authority and someone else's? Or maybe it's about finding a balance between being in control and letting go. Because the Emperor likes to be in charge, right? He likes to have everything organized and structured. But sometimes, you just have to let go and trust the process. You have to allow things to unfold naturally, without trying to micromanage everything. So, maybe the Emperor is a reminder that you need to find a balance between taking control and surrendering to the flow. Or, maybe it's about balancing your inner authority with external rules and regulations. You need to respect authority, but you also need to stand up for what you believe in. You need to find a way to navigate the system without compromising your own values. Or another thought. Maybe the Emperor is showing up to help you find your own inner authority. Maybe you've been relying too much on other people's opinions and guidance, and you need to step into your own power. You need to trust your own judgment and make your own decisions. Okay, so the Sun. Where does the Sun fit into this? Well, the Sun is all about confidence and clarity, and the Emperor is all about structure and order. So maybe the Emperor is helping you to channel your confidence in a productive way. You have all this energy and enthusiasm, but you need to focus it and direct it towards a specific goal. The Emperor can help you to create a plan, to set priorities, and to stay on track. But here's the thing, the Sun can also be a little bit egotistical, right? It can be about feeling like you're the center of the universe. So maybe the Emperor is a warning against letting your ego get in the way. You need to be confident, but you also need to be humble. You need to recognize that you're not always right and that other people have valuable contributions to make. It's like the Sun is the raw energy, and the Emperor is the container that holds it all together. You need both to be successful. Or, okay, here's another thought. Maybe the Emperor is showing you where you need to take more responsibility in your life. Maybe you've been avoiding certain tasks or decisions because they feel too difficult or overwhelming. The sun is shining a light on those areas, and the Emperor is giving you the courage and the structure to tackle them head-on. This might mean stepping up at work, taking on a leadership role, or finally addressing a problem in your personal life that you've been putting off. Okay, so, next up, the Knight of Swords. He's all about decisive action, right? Cutting through the BS and getting straight to the point. And the Emperor is all about, well, being the boss. So, how do these two energies mesh? Well, the Knight of Swords is impulsive and quick, whereas the Emperor is more strategic and methodical. So maybe the Emperor is a reminder that you need to slow down and think things through before you act. You can't just charge headfirst into every situation. You need to assess the risks, weigh the options, and make a plan. The Knight of Swords might want to rush in and fix everything immediately, but the Emperor knows that sometimes patience and careful planning are the key to success. But on the flip side, the Emperor can also be a little bit rigid, right? Like he can get stuck in his ways and be resistant to change. So maybe the Knight of Swords is showing up to shake things up a bit, to challenge the status quo, and to push the Emperor out of his comfort zone. Maybe you need to be more open to new ideas and approaches, even if they feel a little bit scary or unconventional. The Knight of Swords can help you to break free from old patterns and to embrace new possibilities. So, maybe the key here is to find a balance between the Emperor's structure and the Knight of Swords' impulsiveness. To be decisive and take action, but to also be mindful and strategic. Okay, but another way of looking at this. Maybe the Emperor is asking the Knight of Swords to take responsibility for his actions. Like, the Knight of Swords can be a bit reckless, right? He just charges in without thinking about the consequences. So, the Emperor is saying, okay, you're going to take action, but you need to be accountable for the results. You need to make sure that your actions are aligned with your values and that they're not hurting anyone else. You have to channel that Knight of Swords' energy and that boldness and decisiveness towards something stable. Okay, the Four of Wands. That's all about community and celebration. And the Emperor, again, is about structure and authority. So maybe the Emperor is showing you how to create a strong and stable foundation for your community. Like, maybe you're in a leadership position in a group or organization, and the Emperor is helping you to establish clear rules and guidelines to create a sense of order and security. This could be about setting boundaries, defining roles and responsibilities, and ensuring that everyone is working together towards a common goal. But here's the thing, the Four of Wands is also about freedom and celebration. So you don't want to create a structure that's too rigid or controlling, right? You want to create a space where people feel safe and supported, but also free to express themselves and to pursue their passions. It's about finding a balance between structure and freedom, between order and creativity. Or maybe the Emperor is a reminder that you need to take responsibility for your own role in the community. Like maybe you've been relying too much on others to take the lead, and it's time for you to step up and contribute your own skills and talents. The Four of Wands is celebrating the collective, and the Emperor is asking you to take ownership of your place within that collective. Okay, then, the Ten of Cups. That's all about emotional fulfillment and happy families, and the Emperor is. Well, he's not exactly known for his warm and fuzzy feelings, is he? So how do these two connect? Well, maybe the Emperor is showing you how to create a stable and secure home life. Like, maybe you've been struggling with chaos or conflict in your family, and the Emperor is helping you to establish clear rules and expectations to create a sense of order and harmony. This could be about setting boundaries with family members, establishing routines and traditions, and ensuring that everyone feels safe and supported. But here's the thing, the Ten of Cups is also about emotional connection and intimacy. So you don't want to become too controlling or authoritarian, right? You want to create a home environment that's filled with love and compassion, where everyone feels free to express their emotions and to be themselves. You want to find a way to balance the Emperor's need for structure with the Ten of Cups' desire for emotional connection. maybe the Emperor is showing you how to be a strong and supportive leader in your family, but also a loving and compassionate partner and parent. Like, you can be in charge without being overbearing. You can set boundaries without being rigid. Or maybe the Emperor is about taking responsibility for your own emotional well-being. Like, maybe you've been relying too much on others to make you happy, and it's time for you to take charge of your own emotions. You need to set healthy boundaries, practice self-care, and create a life that's aligned with your values. The Ten of Cups is a beautiful ideal, but the Emperor is reminding you that you have to actively create that happiness, that you have to take responsibility for your own emotional fulfillment. And okay, tying this back to the Amber Dragon. The Amber Dragon is all about igniting dormant truths, right? So, what dormant truths is the Emperor trying to reveal? Maybe it's about questioning authority. Like, are you blindly following rules and regulations without questioning them? Are you giving your power away to someone else? The Emperor can be a reminder that you have the right to question authority, to challenge the status quo, and to stand up for what you believe in. Maybe it's about challenging your own internal authority. Are you being too hard on yourself? Are you setting unrealistic expectations? The Emperor can be a reminder that you need to be kind and compassionate to yourself, to allow yourself to make mistakes, and to learn from your experiences. And maybe it's about taking responsibility for your own life and creating the structures you need to thrive. But it's all about what rules and structures need to be reevaluated. Okay, so what does this all mean for the final card? Is it going to be something that challenges the Emperor's authority? Is it going to be something that reinforces his message? I have absolutely no idea, but I am so ready to find out. I'm feeling like it's either going to be a massive upheaval or a beautiful integration of all these energies. I can't wait. Okay, so wow, 3 of Wands, huh? Okay, so if we have Temperance, the Sun, Knight of Swords, 4 of Wands, 10 of Cups, Emperor, and now the 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands is all about expansion, looking ahead, new opportunities, right? It's about seeing your vision starting to take shape and planning for the future. It's like you've planted the seeds, and now you're standing on the shore watching your ships come in. But okay, so how does this fit with everything else? How does this fit with that Amber Dragon energy? What dormant truths are being ignited here about your future? About your expansion? Okay, so let's start with Temperance. Because Temperance is all about balance, right? So maybe the 3 of Wands is showing you that your future success depends on maintaining that balance. It's not just about chasing every opportunity that comes your way. It's about carefully considering which opportunities are truly aligned with your values and your goals. And maybe it is balancing risk and reward. Like the 3 of Wands is about taking calculated risks, but Temperance is a reminder that you need to weigh those risks carefully. You can't just jump into everything without thinking it through. You need to find that sweet spot where you're pushing yourself outside of your comfort zone, but not being reckless or irresponsible. Or maybe it is balancing action and patience. The 3 of Wands is about taking action to create your future, but Temperance is a reminder that some things just take time. You can't force things to happen before they're ready. You need to be patient and trust the process, knowing that everything will unfold in its own time. Okay, so what about the Sun? Because the Sun is all about clarity and joy, right? So maybe the 3 of Wands is showing you that your future is bright and full of potential. It's like you've worked so hard to get to this point, and now you're finally starting to see the fruits of your labor. You have so much to be excited about. But also, maybe the Sun is reminding you to stay positive and optimistic, even when things get tough. The road to success isn't always easy, right? There will be challenges and setbacks along the way. But if you can maintain that sense of joy and clarity, you'll be able to overcome any obstacle that comes your way. Or maybe the Sun is about shining a light on your true purpose. The 3 of Wands is about creating a future that's aligned with your values, but the Sun is helping you to clarify what those values are. It's about understanding what truly matters to you and making sure that your actions are in alignment with your beliefs. Okay, so the Knight of Swords. How does he fit into this picture? Because he's all about decisive action, right? So maybe the Three of Wands is telling you that you need to be proactive in creating your future. You can't just sit back and wait for things to happen. You need to take initiative and go after what you want. But the Knight of Swords can be a little reckless, right? So maybe the Three of Wands is a reminder to be strategic in your actions. You can't just charge headfirst into every situation. You need to carefully consider your options and make a plan before you act. Or, another thought, the Knight of Swords can help you to cut through any obstacles that are standing in your way. The Three of Wands is about expanding your horizons, but there will inevitably be challenges and setbacks along the way. The Knight of Swords can give you the courage and the determination to overcome those obstacles and keep moving forward. Okay, what about the Four of Wands? Because that's all about community and celebration, right? So maybe the Three of Wands is showing you that your future success depends on building strong relationships with others. It's not just about what you can do on your own. It's about who you surround yourself with and who you can rely on for support. You know, maybe the Four of Wands is a reminder to celebrate your progress along the way. The Three of Wands is about looking ahead to the future, but it's important to take time to acknowledge how far you've come, to celebrate your wins, both big and small, and to appreciate the people who have helped you get there. Or maybe the Four of Wands is showing you that your community will play a vital role in your expansion. The Three of Wands represents new opportunities, and your community may be the key to unlocking them. Maybe it's through networking, collaboration, or simply having a strong support system that encourages you to take risks and pursue your dreams. Okay, so, the Ten of Cups. Oh my gosh, that's all about emotional fulfillment and happy families, right? So, how does that relate to the Three of Wands and this expansion? Well, maybe the Three of Wands is showing you that your future success will bring you deep emotional fulfillment. It's not just about achieving financial goals or career milestones. It's about creating a life that's aligned with your values, and that brings you genuine happiness and contentment. Maybe the Ten of Cups is a reminder to prioritize your relationships with your loved ones as you pursue your goals. It's easy to get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life and to neglect the people who matter most. But it's important to remember that your relationships are the foundation of your happiness and that they need to be nurtured and cherished. Or, and this is a big one, maybe the Ten of Cups is a warning that your pursuit of expansion shouldn't come at the expense of your emotional well-being. The Three of Wands can sometimes lead you to overwork yourself or to neglect your personal needs. It's important to remember that true success is about finding a balance between your professional and personal life, and that your emotional health should always be a top priority. Okay, so, what about the Emperor? He's all about structure and authority, right? So maybe the Three of Wands is showing you that you need to create a solid foundation for your future success. It's not just about having big dreams and ambitious goals. It's about putting in the hard work and creating a plan to make those dreams a reality. The Emperor is giving a little tough love to make sure those boundaries are set. Maybe the Emperor is a reminder to take control of your own destiny. The Three of Wands is about expanding your horizons, but you can't just rely on luck or chance. You need to be proactive in creating your future and to take responsibility for your own success. Or maybe the Emperor is showing you that you need to establish clear boundaries and guidelines as you expand your horizons. The Three of Wands can sometimes lead to overcommitment or to taking on too much at once. It's important to set limits and to prioritize your time and energy so that you don't burn out. Wow, okay, so tying it all together, with that amber dragon energy, it's all about igniting dormant truths, right? So, what dormant truths is the Three of Wands trying to reveal about your future? Maybe it's about realizing that you have more potential than you ever thought possible. Maybe it's about recognizing that you're capable of achieving your biggest dreams. Or maybe it's about understanding that your future is not predetermined, but that you have the power to create it yourself. It's almost like the Three of Wands is a mirror, reflecting back all of these energies and showing you how they can work together to create the future you desire. It's about taking the balance of temperance, the clarity of the sun, the action of the Knight of Swords, the community of the Four of Wands, the fulfillment of the Ten of Cups, and the structure of the Emperor, and weaving them together into a tapestry of your own making. And Amber Dragon, you are igniting and awakening. Okay, I have no idea what's coming next, but I feel like it's going to be a powerful culmination of all of these energies. Is it going to be something that challenges you to step even further outside of your comfort zone? Is it going to be something that helps you to integrate all of these lessons into your life? I am so ready to find out. Okay, so 8 of Pentacles, right? After all of that, after the 3 of Wands showing you all those possibilities on the horizon, the 8 of Pentacles is like, okay, great, you see the potential, but now you gotta put in the work. Like, you have to actually do something with it. You have to hone your skills, you have to be dedicated, you have to practice, practice, practice. So, what does that mean in the context of everything else we've seen? Well, let's start with Temperance. Remember that card? All about balance. So the 8 of Pentacles is saying that you need to find a balance between working hard and taking care of yourself. You can't just burn the candle at both ends, right? You need to make sure you're also getting enough rest, eating well, and spending time with loved ones. Because if you don't, you're going to burn out, and then you won't be able to master anything. It's about finding that sustainable pace, that rhythm that allows you to consistently improve without sacrificing your well-being. It is also balancing the learning with the doing. The 8 of Pentacles is about mastering a craft, but to get there, you have to learn. And what about the Sun? All that clarity and joy? Well, the 8 of Pentacles is showing you that the joy comes from the process of learning and growing. It's not just about reaching the destination, it's about enjoying the journey. It's about finding satisfaction in the small victories, in the incremental improvements you make along the way. It's about recognizing that every hour you spend honing your craft is an investment in yourself, in your future. It's also keeping the joy alive as you work. So the 8 of Pentacles is asking you to focus. It wants you to stay on track, but it wants you to enjoy it. It's a really important reminder to make sure you're doing what you love and that you are really connecting with your work. And then there's the Knight of Swords, right? That decisive action, cutting through the BS. The 8 of Pentacles is saying that you need to be focused and disciplined in your actions. You can't just flit from one thing to another, chasing every shiny object that catches your eye. You need to pick something and stick with it, even when it gets hard. You need to be willing to put in the time and effort to truly master it. But also, the 8 of Pentacles is tempering that Knight of Swords energy. It's saying that you need to be strategic about how you're using your energy. Don't just charge blindly ahead. Take the time to plan, to research, to learn from your mistakes. Channel that Knight of Swords energy into focused practice. Okay, so the 4 of Wands, all about community and celebration. The 8 of Pentacles is showing you that your community can support you in your efforts to master your craft. Find people who are passionate about the same things you are and learn from them. Share your knowledge, collaborate on projects, and celebrate each other's successes. It is so important to get that outside support. Because, learning and mastering something can be really hard and isolating. And that celebration is so important to keep you going. And it is being able to share the things you have learned. And then, oh my gosh, the 10 of Cups, all that emotional fulfillment. The 8 of Pentacles is showing you that mastering your craft can bring you deep emotional fulfillment. It's about finding something you're passionate about, something that makes you feel alive, and then dedicating yourself to becoming the best you can be at it. It's about creating something beautiful and meaningful that you can share with the world. This is finding joy in your work. And then it is sharing your authentic gift with others, because you're going to be really great at it. So, this part is about really loving what you do and bringing your emotional fulfillment into it. Okay, so the Emperor, that's structure and authority. The 8 of Pentacles is saying that you need to create a structure for your learning and practice. Set goals, create a schedule, and hold yourself accountable. Find a mentor or a teacher who can guide you and provide feedback. The Emperor isn't just about external authority, it's also about internal discipline. You need to be your own boss, to push yourself to keep learning and growing, even when you don't feel like it. It is about creating the structure to learn your craft. And finally, the Three of Wands, which is expansion and opportunity. The Eight of Pentacles is about preparing yourself for those future opportunities, like really getting good and ready. All those ships are coming in, but you need to be ready to handle them. That means honing your skills, building your knowledge base, and developing your network. It's about making sure you're ready to seize those opportunities when they arrive. But also, the Eight of Pentacles is influencing the Three of Wands. It's saying that you need to be selective about which opportunities you pursue. Don't just chase every shiny object that comes your way. Focus on the opportunities that are most aligned with your values and your goals, and that will allow you to use your skills and talents to their fullest potential. But you know what I'm seeing? The Eight of Pentacles isn't just about the destination, it's about the journey. It's about the satisfaction of knowing that you're constantly learning and growing, that you're becoming the best version of yourself. It's about the pride of creating something beautiful and meaningful with your own hands, and connecting all of this back to the amber dragon crystal. This whole journey is about awakening to your own potential, right? About igniting those dormant truths within you. And the Eight of Pentacles is the key to unlocking that potential. It's about taking that spark of inspiration and fanning it into a flame through hard work, dedication, and mindful practice. This card is not about mindlessly grinding away at something you hate. It's about finding something you're passionate about and then pouring your heart and soul into it. It's about becoming a master of your craft, not just for the sake of achieving success, but for the sake of experiencing the joy and fulfillment that comes from truly expressing your gifts. You know what? This is also about the journey and not the destination. So enjoy the learning and growing process and not just the success, because the fun is in the journey. So focus on that and really connect with that energy. So what does this all mean for you? Well, it means that you have everything you need to create the future you desire. You have the balance of temperance, the clarity of the sun, the action of the Knight of Swords, the community of the Four of Wands, the fulfillment of the Ten of Cups, the structure of the Emperor, and the vision of the Three of Wands. Now, all you need is the dedication and the discipline of the Eight of Pentacles to bring it all together. It's time to roll up your sleeves, get to work, and start building the life you've always dreamed of. And remember, you're not alone on this journey. You have the support of your community, the guidance of your intuition, and the power of the amber dragon within you. Trust yourself, believe in yourself, and never give up on your dreams. Because you are capable of amazing things. You really are. And I'm so excited to see what you create. Hello, my friend. Welcome, welcome. If you chose the Amethyst Pyramid, get ready for a reading about protecting your heart. Amethyst brings a sense of calm and clarity, and your theme is all about shielding vulnerable feelings, the truth carefully guarded. So let's dive into these cards and see what they have to tell us, okay? First up, we have Justice. Now, justice is all about fairness, truth, and balance. But you know, it's not always as simple as it seems. I feel like with justice here, there might be some kind of imbalance that you're dealing with, or that you've been dealing with. It could be something in your personal life, maybe in a relationship, or it could even be something more formal, like a legal matter. What's really interesting about this Justice card in the context of shielding vulnerable feelings is that it makes me wonder if there's a truth that's being, well, not necessarily hidden, but carefully guarded. You know, like maybe there's something that you're not fully acknowledging, either to yourself or to others, because it feels too vulnerable to expose. This could be a past hurt, a fear of judgment, or even a secret that you're holding onto tightly. Okay, so let's think about this. Justice is about cause and effect, right? It's about actions having consequences. So if you're shielding vulnerable feelings, what actions are you taking as a result? Are you being overly cautious? Are you avoiding certain situations or people? Are you maybe even being a little bit unfair to yourself or to others in the process? It's like you're trying to create this sense of balance, but it's coming from a place of fear, you know? And it doesn't necessarily mean you're doing something wrong, but it does mean there's something to look at here. What are you trying to balance out? What are you afraid of losing? What truth are you trying to maintain control over? Because justice isn't just about external fairness, it's about internal alignment too. Like, are your actions aligned with your true values and beliefs? Sometimes, justice can also point to a need for accountability. Maybe there's a situation where you need to take responsibility for your part in things. Or maybe you need to hold someone else accountable for their actions. This can be really scary when you're trying to protect yourself, because it means opening yourself up to potential conflict or vulnerability. But, sometimes that's exactly what's needed to restore balance. This is making me think about those scales of justice, the ones the figure holds. What are the things on either side of your scales right now? Is it your desire for safety versus your desire for authenticity? Is it your need for control versus your willingness to trust? What are you weighing, and how are you trying to keep everything in equilibrium? And I feel like, with the Amethyst pyramid here, it's like you're being guided to look at this situation with a sense of calm and clarity, to not let your emotions cloud your judgment. The Amethyst is helping you to see the truth, even if it's uncomfortable. It's like it's saying, okay, it's safe to look at this. You're protected. You can handle this. Okay, so justice, balance, truth, vulnerability, it's all connected. Maybe there's a big decision coming up, something where you have to weigh the pros and cons very carefully. Or perhaps you're realizing that you've been avoiding a difficult conversation that needs to happen. Whatever it is, the Justice card is calling you to be honest with yourself and with others, even if it's scary. Wow, okay. Let's move on to the next card, the Nine of Wands. Oh, this card is interesting. The Nine of Wands is all about resilience, guardedness, and being so close to the finish line. But you're also exhausted, You've been through a lot and you're still standing, but you're definitely feeling the weight of it all. I feel like this card really speaks to that shielding vulnerable feelings theme. You've been hurt before, maybe even multiple times, and now you're extra cautious. You've built up these walls around yourself to protect yourself from further pain. The Nine of Wands often shows up when you're almost there, you're almost at your goal. You've put in so much effort, you've overcome so many obstacles, but you're still hesitant to fully commit. You're like, okay, I'm almost there, but what if something goes wrong at the last minute? That fear of failure or fear of getting hurt again is holding you back. You're still in defense mode, always ready for the next attack. And I feel like this connects so strongly with that Justice card we just looked at. What past injustices have led you to this point? What experiences have made you feel like you need to be so guarded? What's making you feel like you've always got to be on the lookout? Because, that can be really draining. It's exhausting to constantly be in that state of alert. It's like you're so used to fighting, so used to defending yourself, that you're almost afraid to let your guard down. But the Nine of Wands is also a reminder of your strength and resilience. You've come this far, and you've learned so much along the way. You have what it takes to overcome this final hurdle. The question is, are you willing to trust yourself enough to let go of some of that defensiveness? So maybe the truth, carefully guarded, isn't just about hiding something from others. Maybe it's also about hiding your own strength and vulnerability from yourself. You're so focused on being strong and protecting yourself that you're not allowing yourself to fully feel your emotions or to connect with others on a deeper level. I think it's important to acknowledge that your guardedness is coming from a valid place. You've been hurt, and you're trying to protect yourself. That's understandable. But at what point does that protection become a prison? At what point does it prevent you from experiencing the joy and connection that you deserve? This Amethyst pyramid is here to give you that strength to connect with yourself. And with the Amethyst's energy of calm and clarity, it's like you're being guided to gently examine those walls you've built around yourself. Are they really necessary anymore? Are they still serving you? Or are they keeping you stuck in a cycle of fear and defensiveness? It is time to heal. It is possible that the Nine of Wands is telling you that it's okay to ask for help. You don't have to do everything on your own. There are people who care about you and want to support you. Allowing yourself to be vulnerable and to lean on others can actually be a sign of strength, not weakness. Let them share the burden. Okay, wow, so justice, Nine of Wands, fairness, resilience, guardedness. It's all about balancing your need for protection with your desire for connection. And the truth is that you're stronger than you think you are. You've already overcome so much, and you have the inner resources to face whatever comes next. What now? All right, let's move on to the final card, the Chariot. Oh my gosh. The Chariot is all about willpower, control, and overcoming obstacles. It's about taking charge of your life and moving forward with confidence and determination. But, it's not always easy. The Chariot often represents a struggle between opposing forces, a need to find balance and harmony in the midst of chaos. Now, in the context of the Justice and Nine of Wands, this Chariot card is making me think about how you're trying to control your life in order to protect yourself. You're using your willpower to create a sense of order and stability, but maybe you're being a little too rigid. You're so focused on staying in control that you're not allowing yourself to be spontaneous or to embrace the unexpected. I wonder, maybe the truth carefully guarded is that you're afraid of losing control. You're afraid of what might happen if you let go of the reins and allow yourself to be vulnerable. But the Chariot is also a reminder that you have the power to overcome any obstacle. You have the inner strength and determination to achieve your goals, even in the face of adversity. I feel like this Chariot card is urging you to find a balance between control and surrender. You don't have to control everything in your life. You can trust that things will work out, even if you don't know exactly how. And you can allow yourself to be vulnerable, to open your heart to others without losing your sense of self. Find the balance. The Chariot is also about movement and progress. It's about embarking on a journey, both internal and external. So, what journey are you on right now? What are you striving towards? What obstacles are you trying to overcome? And how are you using your willpower to achieve your goals? Consider the options. It's possible that the Chariot is telling you to take a more proactive approach to your life. Instead of just reacting to events, you need to start creating your own destiny. You need to take charge of your life and steer it in the direction you want to go. Don't wait for things to happen, make them happen. But again, it's about finding that balance. You don't want to be so aggressive or forceful that you alienate others or burn yourself out. You need to find a way to assert your will without being overbearing or controlling. This could involve a new job, and with the Amethyst pyramid supporting you, it's about approaching this journey with a sense of calm and clarity. To use your willpower in a way that is aligned with your values and your highest good. To not let your fears or insecurities drive your decisions, but to act from a place of love and compassion. Keep that in mind as you make decisions. Wow. Okay, Justice, Nine of Wands, and the Chariot. It's all about balancing fairness, resilience, and control. It is about shielding vulnerable feelings, the truths we carefully guard, while moving forward with confidence and determination. You are ready. So, to sum it all up, you're being called to examine the ways in which you're shielding vulnerable feelings, to acknowledge the truths that you've been carefully guarding, and to find a balance between your need for protection and your desire for connection. You have the strength and resilience to overcome any obstacle, and you have the willpower to create the life you want. It is time to get ready to embrace vulnerability. I am so excited to see what happens next, what the upcoming cards reveal. Okay, wow, this is getting so good. All right, let's move on to the next card, which is the High Priestess. Ooh, I love this card. This is so interesting. The High Priestess is all about intuition, mystery, and the subconscious. She's the guardian of hidden knowledge, the one who knows the secrets that lie beneath the surface. She's like listening to your gut, So, in the context of the Justice, Nine of Wands, and the Chariot, this High Priestess card is making me think that the truth carefully guarded goes even deeper than we thought. It's not just about shielding yourself from external threats or controlling your environment. It's about tapping into your own inner wisdom and trusting your intuition, even when it doesn't make logical sense. Like the High Priestess sees beyond the surface level of justice. She understands the underlying emotions and motivations that are driving the situation. She knows that true fairness isn't always about following the rules or applying logic. It's about understanding the nuances of the heart. And with the Nine of Wands, she gets why you've got those walls up, honey. She sees the pain and the fear that's behind them, But she also knows that those walls are keeping you from connecting with your true self and with others. She's like, I know why you did it, darling, but let's see what's behind it. And the chariot? The high priestess whispers in the chariot's ear, guiding its powerful will with intuitive nudges. She reminds you that control isn't always the answer, that sometimes you need to surrender to the flow of the universe and trust that you're being guided in the right direction. She's saying, sweetie, you can't control everything. Let your intuition guide you. This is really making me think about the difference between logic and intuition, you know. Justice and the Chariot are very logical cards. They're about cause and effect, about taking action and achieving results. But the High Priestess is all about the unseen, the unsaid, the things that you can't quite put your finger on. She's about trusting your gut feelings, even when they contradict your logical mind. And I feel like, with the Amethyst pyramid here, it's like you're being guided to find a balance between these two ways of knowing. To not dismiss your intuition in favor of logic, or vice versa, but to honor both as valuable sources of information. The Amethyst helps to quiet the mind and open you up to your inner wisdom. It's like, SHHH, listen to what you already know. Like, maybe the truth carefully guarded is that you're afraid to trust your intuition. You've been burned before by following your gut feelings, and now you're hesitant to do it again. Or maybe you've been taught to dismiss your intuition as irrational or silly. But the High Priestess is here to tell you that your intuition is a powerful gift, and it's time to start listening to it. She's also about secrets, you know? The High Priestess often represents hidden knowledge, things that are not readily apparent. So maybe there's a secret that you're keeping from yourself or from others. Or maybe there's a secret that someone else is keeping from you. And this secret could be related to the imbalance that we saw with the Justice card, or to the past hurts that are making you feel guarded with the Nine of Wands, or to the need to control things that came up with the Chariot. Like, maybe the secret is that you're not as strong as you think you are, or that you're more vulnerable than you're willing to admit. Or that you're actually really, really amazing and you don't even know it, boo. The High Priestess is saying, it's okay to not be perfect. It's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to need help. And I think this is especially important in the context of shielding vulnerable feelings. Because when you're so focused on protecting yourself, you can become disconnected from your own emotions. You can start to bury your feelings deep down inside, where they can fester and grow. The High Priestess is inviting you to go within and explore those hidden emotions, to shine a light on the things that you're afraid to look at, to be honest with yourself about what you're really feeling. And you know what? It's okay to cry. It's okay to be angry. It's okay to be scared. Those feelings are all part of being human. They're not weaknesses, they're messengers. They're telling you something important. And with the Amethyst pyramid here, you're being guided to approach this exploration with a sense of calm and compassion. To not judge yourself for your feelings, but to simply observe them with curiosity and acceptance. The Amethyst is helping you to create a safe space within yourself where you can explore your emotions without fear. You are safe. This card is also very connected to feminine energy, you know? The High Priestess is the epitome of feminine intuition, wisdom, and receptivity. She's the embodiment of the divine feminine. So this card could be a sign that you need to connect with your own feminine energy, regardless of your gender. What does that mean? Well, it could mean anything from taking time for self-care to embracing your creativity to connecting with nature to nurturing your relationships. It could mean allowing yourself to be more receptive to the world around you, to listen more than you speak, to trust your intuition more than your logic. Like, maybe the truth carefully guarded is that you've been suppressing your feminine energy in some way. Maybe you've been trying to be too strong or too independent. Or maybe you've been taught that feminine qualities are weaknesses. But the High Priestess is here to tell you that your feminine energy is a source of great power and wisdom. Embrace it. I feel like this card is really asking you to trust yourself, to trust your intuition, to trust your emotions, to trust that you know what's best for you, even if it doesn't make sense to anyone else, even if it goes against what you've been taught. You know, sometimes the greatest wisdom comes from within. So what secrets are you keeping? What emotions are you burying? What intuition are you ignoring? What aspects of your feminine energy are you suppressing? These are the questions that the High Priestess is asking you to consider. And with the Amethyst pyramid by your side, you have the strength and clarity to find the answers. This could also mean you need to look into some dream work, baby. The High Priestess is so linked to our subconscious and the messages we get when we are asleep. Keep a journal by your bed and write them down as soon as you wake up. Those messages are so important. And with the Justice card here, it makes me wonder if this secret has to do with someone else too. Are you keeping a secret for someone else? Is someone keeping a secret from you? This could be a time for things to come to light. But don't push, okay? Let things unfold naturally and trust that you are exactly where you need to be. Okay, wow. Justice, 9 of Wands, the Chariot, and now the High Priestess. We're going so deep. Fairness, resilience, control, and intuition. It's all about finding that balance between the seen and the unseen, the logical and the intuitive, the masculine and the feminine, and trusting that you have the inner wisdom to navigate whatever comes your way. This is so good. I can't wait to see what the next cards reveal as we continue to unveil these secrets and learn to trust the process. Okay, wow, and now we have the Hierophant. Oh, this is, super interesting, especially with everything we've already pulled, you know? So the Hierophant is all about tradition, institutions, and, established systems. It's about doing things the right way, following the rules, and adhering to societal norms. So immediately, I'm thinking about how this card plays into that theme of shielding vulnerable feelings and truths carefully guarded. Are you maybe conforming to certain traditions or expectations in order to protect yourself? Are you hiding your true self to fit in with a particular group or institution? Because think about it, right? The High Priestess is all about intuition and inner wisdom, while the Hierophant is about external structures and established beliefs. So there's this potential conflict there, you know? Are you honoring your own inner guidance, or are you sacrificing your authenticity to conform to what others expect of you? That's really something, huh? Maybe the truth carefully guarded has something to do with feeling like you don't quite fit in, like you're different from the people around you. And so, you're trying to mold yourself into something that you're not in order to be accepted. Which, I get it, right? We all want to belong, but at what cost? And with that Justice card from before, I'm wondering if there's a sense of injustice here, you know? Are these traditions and rules actually fair? Or are they perpetuating some kind of imbalance or inequality? Are you upholding a system that doesn't truly align with your values? 'Cause sometimes, what's traditional isn't necessarily what's right or just, you know. It's about questioning it. It's really interesting to think about. Maybe you're in a situation where you feel obligated to follow certain rules or expectations, even though you know in your heart that they're wrong. Maybe it's a family thing, or a religious thing, or a work thing. But whatever it is, it's creating this internal conflict, this tension between what you feel you should do and what you actually want to do. And how does the Chariot play into this? Well, the Chariot is all about control and willpower, right? So maybe you're using your willpower to maintain this facade of conformity. You're working really hard to fit in, to follow the rules, to be the good, whatever, you know. But it's exhausting, right? It's like you're constantly fighting against your own true nature. The High Priestess knows this. And with that 9 of Wands, I'm wondering if this need to conform is rooted in past experiences. Maybe you were punished or rejected for being different in the past, and now you're terrified of that happening again. So, you've built up these walls around yourself to protect yourself from judgment or criticism. But the Hierophant is also about learning and teaching, you know. So maybe this card is encouraging you to explore these traditions and institutions in a more conscious way. To understand where they came from, what purpose they serve, and whether they're still relevant today. Maybe you can use your knowledge and wisdom to help reform these systems from within, to make them more inclusive and just. And with the Amethyst pyramid, it's like you're being guided to approach this exploration with a sense of calm and clarity. To not blindly accept everything you're told, but to also not reject everything out of hand. to really think critically about what you believe and why. So, practically speaking, what does this mean for you? Well, maybe it's time to take a closer look at the traditions and expectations that are shaping your life. Are they truly serving you? Are they aligned with your values? Are they helping you to become the best version of yourself? Or are they holding you back? Are you afraid of breaking the rules? What is making you scared? If you find that there are certain traditions or expectations that are no longer working for you, it might be time to start challenging them. This doesn't necessarily mean rebelling or causing a scene, you know. It could be as simple as having a conversation with someone, expressing your concerns, or setting a boundary. It's about finding a way to honor your own truth while still respecting the people and institutions that are important to you. And it's about remembering that you have the power to create your own path, to define your own values, and to live your life in a way that feels authentic and meaningful to you. And the best thing you can do is communicate and come to a compromise. Remember, it's about balance, right? The Justice card reminds us that it's about finding fairness. The Nine of Wands is about staying strong and resilient. The Chariot is about moving forward with determination. And the High Priestess is about trusting your intuition. And now, the Hierophant is about understanding and challenging the systems that you're a part of. This could even be a good time to find a mentor. I'm thinking of the Hierophant as being someone who can guide you, so perhaps you need to seek out someone who can act as that for you. But also keep in mind the High Priestess in that they should be someone who you trust your intuition with. You know, it is so important that they align with you and your values. Otherwise, what's the point? Maybe the truth carefully guarded is that you're afraid of disappointing someone, of losing their love or approval. And so, you're willing to sacrifice your own happiness to keep them happy. But the Hierophant is also about teaching, about passing on knowledge and wisdom. So maybe you can use your experiences to help others who are struggling with similar issues. Maybe you can become a role model for authenticity and courage, showing others that it's okay to be different, to challenge the status quo, and to live your truth. I also wonder if, with this Amethyst pyramid, you are being called to bring some of that protective energy to others. The Hierophant, at its best, can be about creating a safe and supportive community where everyone feels welcome and accepted. But this only works if we're all being authentic and honest with each other. It's about creating a space where people can be vulnerable without fear of judgment. Because you are so loved. The Hierophant can be so powerful. You are ready to step into this role, darling. And how interesting with the Nine of Wands, because this could be about stepping into a role where you are teaching others about how to heal. This is so huge. Because you are so close to the finish line, perhaps you are teaching people that it is okay to be almost there. To be vulnerable. I feel like the Hierophant is really asking you to question everything, to not take anything for granted. To really think for yourself, and to decide what you believe and what you don't. And to have the courage to live your life accordingly, even if it means going against the grain. And also, the rules are different for everyone. The rules you ascribe to might not be the rules that someone else subscribes to. Maybe you are struggling with seeing someone else do something that you wouldn't, but they aren't hurting anyone. I'm also getting that you might be dealing with some outdated beliefs that are holding you back. It's time to reevaluate those beliefs and see if they still serve you. Are you holding on to something that no longer aligns with who you are? Or are you afraid to let go of the past? But the best thing to do is to heal. Wow, this is a lot to think about, right? Justice, Nine of Wands, the Chariot, the High Priestess, and now the Hierophant. Fairness, resilience, control, intuition, and tradition. It's all about finding that delicate balance between honoring the past and creating your own future. And with the Amethyst pyramid, you have the protection and clarity you need to navigate this journey with grace and courage. Okay, I am so excited to see what the very last card is going to bring. Okay, I am so excited to see what the very last card is going to bring. And it is the Empress. Oh my gosh, this is so beautiful. This card is just radiating so much loving, nurturing energy. This is so good. The Empress is all about abundance, fertility, and creation. She's like Mother Earth, you know, She's the ultimate nurturer, the one who provides for everyone and everything. So, immediately, I'm thinking, wow, how does this relate to shielding vulnerable feelings and those carefully guarded truths we've been talking about? And honestly, it hits me right away, maybe the truth carefully guarded is that you're not allowing yourself to receive love and nurturing. That you're so busy taking care of everyone else that you're neglecting your own needs. Does that make sense? Because, think about it, right? We've got that Hierophant card from before, all about tradition and societal expectations. And the Empress is almost like the opposite of that. She's about breaking free from those rigid structures and connecting with your own inner power, your own creativity, your own sense of what feels good and right for you. Maybe you've been told that you need to be a certain way, that you need to conform to certain expectations in order to be worthy of love and acceptance. And so you've been suppressing your true self, hiding your vulnerabilities, and trying to be someone you're not. But the Empress is saying, no, honey, that's not true. You are already worthy of love and acceptance just as you are. You don't need to earn it. You don't need to prove yourself. You just need to allow yourself to receive it. And that starts with nurturing yourself, with giving yourself the love and care that you deserve. It's interesting, right? Because the Nine of Wands was all about being guarded and resilient, about building up those walls to protect yourself from getting hurt again. But the Empress is like, okay, I see those walls, and I understand why they're there. But what if you started taking them down, brick by brick, and replacing them with flowers and vines? What if you let in some light and some air and some love? What if you allowed yourself to be vulnerable again? And I know that's scary, right? It's scary to let your guard down, to open your heart to the possibility of getting hurt. But the Empress is also about trust, about trusting yourself, about trusting the universe, about trusting that you're strong enough to handle whatever comes your way. And with that Justice card, I'm wondering if there's some kind of imbalance in your life when it comes to giving and receiving. Are you giving too much to others and not enough to yourself? Or are you taking too much from others and not giving enough back? The Empress is about finding that balance, about creating a harmonious flow of energy in all areas of your life. The Chariot was about control, right? About taking charge and moving forward with determination. But the Empress is more about surrender, about trusting the natural cycles of life, about allowing things to unfold in their own time. It's about recognizing that you can't control everything, and that sometimes the best thing you can do is just relax and let go. And the High Priestess, oh my gosh, this is so good. The High Priestess is all about intuition and inner wisdom. And the Empress is like, okay, now it's time to put that intuition into action. It's time to create something beautiful in the world, something that reflects your true self, something that brings you joy and fulfillment. Maybe you've been feeling this creative urge, this desire to express yourself in some way. But you've been holding back because you're afraid of what others will think, or because you don't think you're good enough, or because you just don't have the time. The Empress is saying, honey, it's time to let go of those fears and excuses. It's time to embrace your creativity and let it flow. It doesn't matter if you're not perfect. It doesn't matter if no one else likes it. What matters is that it brings you joy and that it allows you to connect with your true self. This could be anything, It could be painting, or writing, or singing, or dancing, or gardening, or cooking, or decorating, or anything else that allows you to express your creativity. It could even be something as simple as rearranging your furniture or trying a new recipe. The point is to find something that feels good to you and to make time for it in your life. It's so interesting, too, because the Empress is often associated with motherhood, with pregnancy, with birth. And so, this card could be a sign that you're ready to bring something new into the world, whether it's a baby, a business, a creative project, or just a new way of being. This might even mean that you are finally ready to let that inner child free. It's screaming to come out and play. But even if you're not planning on having children, the Empress can still represent that nurturing, motherly energy that we all have within us. It's about taking care of ourselves, about being kind to ourselves, about giving ourselves the love and support that we need to thrive. And with that amethyst pyramid, it's like you're being guided to approach this whole process with a sense of calm and clarity. To not get overwhelmed by the pressure to be perfect or to create something amazing. To just relax and enjoy the process and trust that everything is unfolding as it should. Like, practically speaking, what can you do to connect with the Empress energy in your life? Well, one thing you can do is spend time in nature. Go for a walk in the park, sit by a river, or just lie in the grass and look up at the clouds. Nature is a powerful source of nurturing and inspiration. You can also try engaging in some kind of creative activity, even if you don't think you're very good at it. Just let go of your inhibitions and allow yourself to express yourself freely. You might be surprised at what you create. It could be something as simple as doodling in a notebook or singing in the shower. Don't get in your head about it. And most importantly, make time for self-care. Do something that nourishes your body, mind, and soul. Take a bath, read a book, listen to music, meditate, or spend time with loved ones. Whatever makes you feel good and relaxed. Be kind to yourself. The Empress is really about embracing your sensuality, about connecting with your body, about enjoying the pleasures of life. So, allow yourself to indulge in things that feel good to you, whether it's a delicious meal, a luxurious massage, or a cozy blanket. And remember, you are worthy of love and abundance. You are beautiful, you are creative, and you are powerful. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. Embrace your inner Empress and let her guide you towards a life of joy, fulfillment, and abundance. I think, maybe that carefully guarded truth is that you're afraid of your own power. That you're afraid of what you might create if you really let yourself go. But the Empress is saying, honey, it's time to stop being afraid and to start embracing your full potential. And also it's okay to have help. It's really good to build that community that can assist you. It's important to build strong bonds and not being afraid to ask for help. Wow, okay. Justice, Nine of Wands, the Chariot, the High Priestess, the Hierophant, and now the Empress. Fairness, resilience, control, intuition, tradition, and now abundance. We're really getting to the heart of the matter here. It's all about finding that balance between honoring your past, embracing your present, and creating your future. It's about finding your own sense of security. I am so excited to see what the final card brings. I feel like it's going to be the key that unlocks everything. Oh my gosh, what could it be? We're almost there. Get ready. Oh my goodness, are you ready? And the final card is the Moon. Oh wow, this is so powerful. Okay, so the Moon is all about illusion, fear, and the subconscious. It's that card that just asks you to really dig deep, It's about what's hidden, what's not always apparent on the surface. And it's about facing your fears, even when they seem irrational. Okay, so with everything we've pulled before, this is just like, wow. Like, how does this connect to everything? Well, let's start with justice, right? So justice is all about fairness and balance, but the Moon suggests that maybe what you perceive as fair isn't actually the whole story. There might be some hidden information or some subconscious biases that are clouding your judgment. So it's like, are you really seeing things as they are, or are you only seeing what you want to see? Are you sure you have all the details? And with the Amethyst pyramid, it's like, it's offering this protection, right? But it also wants you to use the clarity it brings to see through the illusions. And with the Nine of Wands, which is all about resilience and guardedness, the Moon is like, okay, I see you, building up those walls, trying to protect yourself. But what are you really afraid of? What are those hidden fears that are driving your need to be so guarded? Maybe the truth carefully guarded is that you're afraid of your own emotions, that you're afraid of what might happen if you let your guard down. Or it could be about something from the past that still haunts you, some kind of trauma that you haven't fully processed. The Moon wants you to bring that stuff into the light, to face it, to heal it. It's safe now. The Amethyst is holding space for you. The Chariot, which is all about control and willpower, takes on a whole new meaning with the Moon. Because the Moon is all about letting go of control, about surrendering to the unknown. And honestly, sometimes the Chariot can be a little, controlling, It's so focused on achieving its goals that it can become rigid and inflexible. So the Moon is like, okay, I see you, trying to steer your life in a certain direction. But what if you just let go of the reins for a little while? What if you allowed yourself to be guided by your intuition instead of your willpower? You might be surprised at where you end up, with the High Priestess. Oh, this is just like everything, because the High Priestess is all about intuition and the subconscious, and the moon is like amplifying that energy. It's saying, okay, you're already tapping into your inner wisdom, but there's so much more to discover. There are layers and layers of hidden knowledge waiting to be uncovered. So, this is a call to really trust your intuition, to really listen to your dreams, to really pay attention to those synchronicities that are showing up in your life. The universe is trying to tell you something, and the moon is helping you to decipher the message. Pay attention to the signs. And the Hierophant, oh, that's just so interesting. So, the Hierophant is all about tradition and societal expectations, and the moon is shining a light on the shadow side of those structures. Are these traditions really serving you, or are they keeping you stuck in a cycle of fear and illusion? Are you following the rules because you truly believe in them, or because you're afraid of what will happen if you don't? So, the moon is asking you to question everything, to challenge the status quo, to break free from those limiting beliefs that are holding you back. The Empress and the moon together is just so powerful. The Empress is all about abundance, fertility, and nurturing. But the moon suggests that maybe there's something blocking you from fully receiving that abundance. Maybe you have some subconscious beliefs that you're not worthy of love or success, The moon is asking you to examine those beliefs, to challenge them, to release them. You are worthy, darling. You are deserving of all the good things that life has to offer, just like the Amethyst pyramid is telling you. So, what does this all mean for you, practically speaking? Well, it means it's time to face your fears. It's time to stop running away from those things that scare you and to start exploring them with curiosity and compassion. It means it's time to trust yourself, to trust your intuition, to trust that you have the strength and wisdom to handle whatever comes your way. And I'm feeling really strongly that this is about a specific situation or a specific person in your life. There's something that you're avoiding, something that you don't want to look at too closely. But the moon is saying that it's time to stop avoiding it and to confront it head-on. Maybe it's a difficult conversation that you need to have, or a difficult decision that you need to make. Or maybe it's a pattern of behavior that you need to break. Whatever it is, the moon is giving you the courage and the clarity to face it. And remember, the Nine of Wands is telling you that you're so strong. This is really a journey into the depths of your subconscious, It's not always going to be easy, but it's going to be so worth it. Because on the other side of those fears and illusions lies your true self, your authentic power, your unlimited potential. You can tap into that potential. Think about this. What are you most afraid of? What are those things that you try to avoid thinking about or talking about? What are those secrets that you're keeping from yourself or from others? These are the clues that the moon is giving you. And honestly, it can be helpful to talk to someone about this. Like a therapist, a counselor, or a trusted friend. Someone who can help you to process your emotions and to see things from a different perspective. Don't be afraid to ask for help, honey. It's okay to need support. The moon is also about cycles, the lunar cycle. So this could be a sign that you're entering a new phase in your life, a time of transformation and growth, a time to release the old and embrace the new. So pay attention to the phases of the moon. New moon is a time to set intentions. Full moon is a time to release what no longer serves you. Use the lunar energy to support you on your journey. Work with those moon goddesses. It's like the truth carefully guarded isn't just about hiding something from others, it's about hiding something from yourself. It's about being afraid to look at the dark side of your own soul. And with the Amethyst pyramid, you're being reminded that you're protected, that you're safe, that you can handle whatever comes up. The Amethyst is helping you to stay grounded and centered, even when things get intense. I also wonder if there's some kind of deception going on here. Is someone lying to you? Or are you lying to yourself? The moon can represent illusion and trickery, so it's important to be aware of who you're trusting and what you're believing. Trust your intuition, okay? If something feels off, it probably is. Do not ignore those red flags. Even if you want to believe the best in someone, even if you're afraid of what the truth might be, it's always better to know the truth than to live in a lie. So, to sum it all up, the moon is about facing your fears, trusting your intuition, and releasing those limiting beliefs that are holding you back. It's about embracing your shadow side and integrating it into your whole self. It's about surrendering to the unknown and trusting that everything is unfolding as it should. It's about knowing that you are strong, you are worthy, and you are loved. And don't forget to bring this back around to those old cards, babe. Justice, Nine of Wands, the Chariot, the High Priestess, the Hierophant, and the Empress. Those feelings of fairness, resilience, control, intuition, tradition, and abundance are still vital. But don't let the moon trip you up on where you are at. Oh my gosh, the moon. So after all of that, this card is here to say, okay, sweetie, it's time to face your fears. What are you really hiding from? You know, 'cause we've had this whole journey, right? Justice, about finding balance and fairness, but with the moon here, it's like, are you really being honest with yourself about what's fair? Are you seeing the whole picture, or are you just clinging to the version of the story that makes you feel safe? And the Nine of Wands, all about being resilient and guarded. The moon asks, what are you guarding yourself against? Is it a real threat, or is it just a shadow? Is it time to lower those walls and let some light in? It's time to be brave. And you've come so far, and you're getting closer and closer to understanding why it is you are feeling that way. It is okay. This card is so powerful. Then we had the Chariot, about control and willpower. But the moon is like, okay, I see you trying to control everything, but what if you surrendered a little? What if you trusted the universe to guide you, instead of trying to force things to happen? That is okay, because the High Priestess already spoke to it. Then we have that High Priestess, already whispering in your ear to trust your intuition. Remember all those secrets she knows? Now you have to look into them. And listen, because that's what the moon is all about. It is so intertwined with your intuition. Pay attention to your dreams, to your gut feelings, to those little synchronicities that keep popping up. The universe is trying to tell you something, and the moon is helping you to understand it. But also, it's okay to feel the unknown. It is here. And then comes the Hierophant, all about tradition and societal expectations. This part is huge. The moon is here to illuminate all the ways that those expectations might be holding you back. Are you living your life according to someone else's rules, or are you following your own heart? Are you afraid to break free from tradition? The moon wants you to question everything, to challenge the status quo, and to create your own path. The rules are different for everyone. Even if you aren't hurting anyone, if something doesn't feel right to you, you have every right to change it. And the Empress, oh my gosh, this is just beautiful. She's all about abundance and nurturing, but the moon is saying that you might have some hidden blocks that are preventing you from fully receiving all that goodness. Are you telling yourself that you're not worthy of love or success? The moon is here to help you release those limiting beliefs and to open yourself up to all the abundance that the universe has to offer. It is interesting too, because the moon has so much feminine energy in it as well. It is all tied together. Are you rejecting that power? Are you trying to be someone you aren't? It is time to release. You are a goddess. You are here. You can be yourself. But that means you need to face those fears that are coming with it. And the best part, the Amethyst pyramid is still there, baby. So with all of that, what is the moon really asking you to do? Well, first and foremost, it's asking you to be brave. To be willing to look at those dark corners of your mind, those hidden fears that you've been avoiding. It's not going to be easy, but it's so worth it. Because on the other side of those fears is your true self, your authentic power, your unlimited potential. So don't be afraid to ask for help, you know? Talk to a therapist, talk to a trusted friend, talk to someone who can help you process your emotions and see things from a different perspective. You don't have to do this alone. And second, the moon is asking you to trust your intuition, to listen to those whispers from your soul, even when they don't make logical sense. Your intuition is your greatest guide, and it will never steer you wrong. So start paying attention to those gut feelings, those dreams, those synchronicities. The universe is speaking to you, and it's time to listen. You are a goddess, embrace it. But what does it really mean? Well, what are you scared of? Because I bet that is where the truth lies. And you know what? It is a hard journey, it isn't easy, but you have what it takes. And remember that amethyst pyramid. It's there to protect you, to keep you calm and grounded as you navigate these murky waters. It's a reminder that you're not alone, that you're supported, and that you have the strength to get through anything. With its protective energy, it is saying you are safe, and to trust in yourself. Remember that, it is so important. It might be helpful to keep a journal by your bed and to write down your dreams as soon as you wake up. Those dreams are messages from your subconscious, and they can offer valuable insights into your fears and desires. You can also try meditating or doing some other kind of mindfulness practice to help you quiet your mind and connect with your intuition. Listen to those goddess tones. Take a bath with some Epsom salts and some lavender essential oil. Ground yourself. Go for a walk in nature. Anything, and finally, the moon is asking you to be patient with yourself. This is a process, not a destination. There will be ups and downs, twists and turns. There will be times when you feel lost and confused. But just keep trusting the process, keep listening to your intuition, and keep moving forward one step at a time. You've got this, honey, and remember those old cards. The lessons they brought you. This is not a straight path, but you know that. And now you have a great understanding of why. So really, what this entire reading is saying is that you're on the verge of a major breakthrough. You're about to release those old fears and illusions that have been holding you back and step into your full power. It's going to be an amazing journey. And that is really beautiful. Justice, Nine of Wands, the Chariot, the High Priestess, the Hierophant, the Empress, and the Moon. All of those combined are here to remind you that it is okay to be scared, but you have the power to move forward. You are strong. You are worthy. You are loved. And you are ready to create the life of your dreams. So go out there and do it. And remember, I'm here for you every step of the way. Reach out anytime. You are so loved and so supported, and I am so excited to see what you do next. I am sending you so much love. Keep me updated. Because this is just so exciting. You are ready for a big change, and I am so excited to see it unfold. What do you think? Okay, wow, Lapis Lazuli, centering. So immediately I'm thinking that whatever is coming through in this reading, it's about really needing to find your center to express it harmoniously. And you chose this pile because there is a message that needs perfect clarity, so that centering is super important. All right, let's jump into these cards, because wow, this is a lot. The first card we have here is the Ten of Pentacles. Okay, so the Ten of Pentacles is all about abundance, security, family, legacy, long-term stability. It's that feeling of, like, you've built something that's going to last, something that's really solid. It's like looking around and seeing all the fruits of your labor, you know. It's that feeling of being surrounded by loved ones, feeling safe and secure, and knowing that you've created something meaningful. So it's not just about money, although money is definitely part of it. It's about the whole package, you know, the emotional, the physical, the spiritual, all coming together to create this really beautiful, stable foundation. When I see this card, I often think of, like, a family home that's been in the family for generations, or a business that's been passed down, or even just a really strong sense of community. It's about roots, you know, where you come from, and the people you share your life with. It's interesting, because with the Lapis Lazuli and this idea of centering, this Ten of Pentacles feels like it needs that strong center to really be maintained. And to thrive, because you need to communicate clearly to maintain traditions, to share values, to make sure everyone feels secure and understands what's going on. So maybe, for some of you, this is about literally inheriting something, like a property or some kind of family heirloom. It could be about receiving a financial windfall, but I feel like it's more than that. It's about inheriting a legacy, inheriting values, inheriting a sense of belonging. Or maybe you're creating that legacy now, building that foundation for future generations. It's like you're planting the seeds that will grow into something really amazing, something that will last, something that others can depend on. But the thing about the Ten of Pentacles is that it can also represent a feeling of being stuck or feeling like you're carrying too much responsibility. Like maybe you're feeling weighed down by family obligations, or maybe you're feeling like you have to live up to certain expectations. So, it's important to remember that abundance and security don't always equal happiness. Sometimes, you have to break free from those expectations in order to truly find your own path. You have to define what abundance and security mean to you, not what your family or society tells you they should mean. And I think that's where this message of perfect clarity comes in, right? Because you need to be really clear about what you want, what your values are, and what your vision is for the future. You can't just blindly follow the path that's been laid out for you. You have to create your own path, and that requires a lot of self-awareness and a lot of honest communication, especially within your family or your community. Maybe there are some unspoken expectations or some old patterns that need to be addressed. Maybe there are some difficult conversations that need to be had. But the thing is, if you don't address these issues, they're just going to keep festering, and they're going to undermine that sense of security and abundance that you're trying to create. So, clarity is key. You have to be willing to speak your truth, even if it's uncomfortable. You have to be willing to challenge the status quo, even if it's scary. Because ultimately, that's what's going to lead you to true fulfillment. Okay, so that's the 10 of Pentacles. Phew, that's a lot, right? But it's all about that foundation, that legacy, that sense of security, and the need for clear communication to maintain it or maybe redefine it. So what's coming into this foundation? What's shaking things up? Well, next we have the 8 of Wands. Oh my gosh, this card is all about speed, movement, and rapid communication. It's like bam, information overload. Things are happening fast and you have to be ready to react. It's a card of swift action, quick decisions, and sudden opportunities. Think of it like a flurry of emails, phone calls, or messages coming at you all at once. It can be exciting, but it can also be overwhelming, It's interesting how this comes right after the 10 of Pentacles, because it's like you've got this really stable, established foundation, and then suddenly everything is changing. Things are moving at warp speed, and you have to adapt quickly. So maybe this is about a new opportunity that's coming your way, something that's going to disrupt the status quo and challenge your comfort zone. It could be a job offer, a new project, a creative breakthrough, or even a sudden move. Whatever it is, it's going to require you to be flexible, adaptable, and ready to take action. And with that message of clarity, it's like you need to be able to sift through all that information and figure out what's really important. You can't get caught up in the chaos and the noise. You have to be able to focus on what matters most and make clear, decisive decisions. This isn't the time to sit around and overthink things. This is the time to trust your intuition, follow your gut, and take action. Because if you hesitate, you might miss out on a really amazing opportunity. But the 8 of Wands can also represent travel, especially long-distance travel. So maybe this is about a trip that you're planning, or maybe it's about connecting with people who live far away. It could be about expanding your horizons and exploring new cultures. Or maybe it's about a literal message coming from far away. It's so interesting, because with the 10 of Pentacles being so rooted and grounded, and then this 8 of Wands coming in with all this movement, it's like something is trying to break free. Something is trying to expand beyond those limitations. And again, I think that ties back to that message of clarity. You need to be really clear about what you want to create in your life, and you need to be willing to take action to make it happen. You can't just sit back and wait for things to come to you. You have to be proactive, you have to be assertive, and you have to be willing to take risks. But remember that the 8 of Wands is also about communication. So this could be about expressing yourself more clearly and more confidently. Maybe you've been holding back your thoughts and feelings, and now it's time to let them out. It could be about sharing your ideas with the world, or it could be about having some really important conversations with the people you care about. And the key here is to be direct, be honest, and be concise. Don't beat around the bush. Don't try to sugarcoat things. Just say what you need to say and say it with conviction. I mean, that Lapis Lazuli is there to help you do that, right? to speak from your center, to communicate clearly, to express yourself harmoniously, even when things are moving really, really fast. The Eight of Wands is like a catalyst, right? It's speeding things up, it's bringing things to a head, and it's forcing you to take action. So what kind of action are we talking about? What kind of energy is fueling this rapid movement? Well, that's where the Knight of Wands comes in. Oh my gosh, this card is pure fire. It's all about passion, energy, enthusiasm, and a burning desire to achieve your goals. This is someone who is confident, charismatic, and ready to take on the world. They're not afraid to take risks, they're not afraid to speak their mind, and they're definitely not afraid to go after what they want. He is action-oriented. He sees an opportunity and he goes for it full force. He's not one to sit around and wait for things to happen. He makes things happen. So, with the 10 of Pentacles and the 8 of Wands already in the mix, this Knight of Wands is like the fuel that ignites the fire. It's the energy that's going to propel you forward and help you achieve your dreams. It's like all that potential energy in the 10 of Pentacles, all that rapid movement in the 8 of Wands, it needs a spark, it needs a catalyst, and that's what the Knight of Wands provides. But here's the thing about the Knight of Wands. He can be a little impulsive, a little reckless, and a little bit impatient. He's so eager to get things done that he sometimes doesn't think things through properly. He can be a bit of a hothead, and he can sometimes act before he thinks. So, it's important to temper that fiery energy with a little bit of caution and a little bit of common sense. He can be really charismatic and inspiring, but he can also be a bit of a show-off, and he can sometimes rub people the wrong way. So, it's important to be mindful of your impact on others and to make sure that you're not alienating people with your enthusiasm. And I think this is where that message of harmonious expression comes in so strongly. You need to find a way to channel that fiery energy in a way that's productive, positive, and aligned with your values. You can't just go charging in blindly without considering the consequences. You need to be strategic, you need to be thoughtful, and you need to be aware of the impact you're having on the people around you. Because that 10 of Pentacles is about community, it is about family, it is about building something that lasts. You don't want to jeopardize that by being too impulsive or too reckless. So maybe this is about taking a calculated risk, something that's going to push you outside of your comfort zone, but that's also aligned with your long-term goals. It could be about starting a new business, launching a new project, or even just making a bold move in your personal life. Whatever it is, it's going to require you to be courageous, confident, and willing to take action. But it's also about expressing your passion, expressing your creativity, and expressing your authentic self. This is the time to let your light shine, to share your gifts with the world, and to inspire others with your enthusiasm. Because the Knight of Wands is a natural leader, and he has the ability to motivate and inspire people to follow him. So, use that power wisely, use it for good, and use it to create a positive impact on the world. And this all ties back to that perfect clarity, because the Knight of Wands, he's not always the most clear communicator, right? He's all about action, he's all about energy, but sometimes he can be a little bit scattered, a little bit all over the place. So with that Lapis Lazuli, you really need to focus on communicating your vision clearly, concisely, and effectively. You need to be able to articulate your goals, your plans, and your expectations in a way that everyone can understand. And you need to be able to listen to other people's feedback and incorporate it into your plans. Because the Knight of Wands doesn't always have all the answers, and he needs to be willing to learn from others. Maybe you're feeling this intense urge to travel, to explore, to experience new things. Maybe you're feeling restless and impatient, like you just can't stay in one place for too long. If that's the case, it's important to find a healthy outlet for that energy. Maybe you can plan a trip, maybe you can take up a new hobby, or maybe you can just find ways to inject a little bit of excitement into your daily routine. Because if you try to suppress that energy, it's just going to build up and eventually explode. So, find a way to channel it in a positive and productive way. Wow, okay. So we've got this foundation, we've got all this rapid movement, and we've got this fiery energy. So, where is all this leading? What's the specific message that needs to come through? I feel like the next card is going to really clarify what this is all building towards, what action to take, and how to best express it. Okay, so wow, where is all this leading? We've got the 10 of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands, the Knight of Wands, and now Death. Okay, don't freak out. This isn't like a literal death, okay? Death in tarot is all about transformation, endings, and new beginnings. It's about shedding the old to make way for the new. It's a powerful card of change, and it often signifies a major turning point in your life. So think of it as a door closing so that another, better door can open. Now, with the 10 of Pentacles sitting there, all grounded and stable, and then bam, death comes in. It's like something that you thought was permanent is now being called into question. Maybe it's a relationship, a job, a belief system, or even just a way of life. Something that's been a part of your identity for a long time is now reaching its end. And that can be scary, right? I mean, the 10 of Pentacles is all about security and death is all about insecurity. But it's a necessary insecurity. It's the kind of insecurity that forces you to grow and evolve. And with the 8 of Wands and the Knight of Wands in the mix, it's like this change is happening fast. You don't have a lot of time to prepare. You just have to jump in and trust that everything is going to work out. The Knight of Wands is probably loving this. He's all about action and adventure. But the 10 of Pentacles might be clinging on for dear life, you know? It's like, no. I don't want things to change. I like things the way they are. But the thing is, change is inevitable. And sometimes the things that we cling to the most are the very things that are holding us back. So what exactly is dying here? What's coming to an end? Well, it could be anything, really. Maybe it's a job that you've outgrown. Maybe it's a relationship that's no longer serving you. Maybe it's a belief system that's holding you back from reaching your full potential. Or maybe it's just a part of yourself that you need to let go of in order to move forward. Think about the areas in your life where you feel stuck, where you feel like you're not growing, where you feel like you're just going through the motions. Those are the areas that are ripe for transformation. Those are the areas where death is knocking on your door. And I know it can be scary to face those endings. It's natural to resist change, especially when it involves letting go of something that's familiar and comfortable. But the thing is, clinging to the past is only going to hold you back from experiencing the amazing things that are waiting for you in the future. The Death card is an invitation to release what no longer serves you, to embrace the unknown, and to step into your power. It's about shedding your old skin and emerging as a stronger, wiser, and more authentic version of yourself. It's like a snake shedding its skin, you know? It has to happen to allow for new growth. Now, remember that Lapis Lazuli and that message of perfect clarity. This is where that becomes super important. Because when you're going through a major transformation, it's easy to get lost in the chaos and the confusion. It's easy to feel like you're losing control. But if you can stay grounded in your center, if you can connect with your intuition, and if you can communicate your needs and desires clearly, you'll be able to navigate this transformation with grace and ease. You need to be really honest with yourself about what's working and what's not working in your life. You need to be willing to let go of the things that are holding you back, even if they're things that you've cherished for a long time. And you need to be willing to embrace the unknown, even if it's scary. This Death card, it's not just about endings, it's also about beginnings. It's about creating space for new opportunities, new experiences, and new relationships to come into your life. It's about opening yourself up to the infinite possibilities that the universe has to offer. So maybe this is about ending a toxic relationship and finding a partner who truly supports and appreciates you. Maybe it's about quitting a dead-end job and pursuing your passion. Maybe it's about letting go of limiting beliefs and embracing your full potential. Whatever it is, it's going to require courage, faith, and a willingness to step outside of your comfort zone. But I promise you, the rewards will be worth it. Because on the other side of this transformation, you'll find a level of freedom, joy, and fulfillment that you never thought possible. Think about a caterpillar turning into a butterfly. It has to go through a complete transformation. It has to dissolve its old self in order to emerge as something new and beautiful. And that's what's happening to you right now. You're dissolving your old self, you're shedding your old skin, and you're preparing to emerge as something even more amazing. Now, this Knight of Wands energy, that's going to be really helpful here, because he's not afraid of change. He's all about taking risks and pursuing his dreams, but you need to make sure that you're channeling that energy in a positive and productive way. You don't want to just go charging in blindly, without considering the consequences. You need to be strategic, you need to be thoughtful, and you need to be aware of the impact you're having on the people around you. And that 10 of Pentacles is still there, too, right? So this transformation might also involve your family, your community, or your legacy. Maybe you're changing your relationship with your family. Maybe you're redefining your role in your community. Or maybe you're creating a new legacy that's more aligned with your values and your passions. It's like you're taking all that grounded energy of the 10 of Pentacles, all that rapid movement of the 8 of Wands, all that fiery passion of the Knight of Wands, and you're using it to fuel this transformation. You're using it to create a new and better version of yourself and your life. This is a powerful time for you, a time of immense growth and potential. Don't be afraid to embrace the change. Don't be afraid to let go of the old. And don't be afraid to step into your power. You've got this. And remember that Lapis Lazuli is there to help you stay centered, communicate clearly, and express yourself harmoniously, even during this time of transformation. Lean into its energy. Trust your intuition, and know that everything is happening for your highest good. You are supported, you are loved, and you are capable of creating the life of your dreams. But okay, so how do you actually do that? How do you actually embrace this transformation and navigate it successfully? What specific steps can you take to make the most of this opportunity? I feel like the next card is going to give us some really practical advice on how to move forward. I'm so excited to see what comes next. Okay, so building on everything we've seen so far. I mean, wow, think about it. You've got that 10 of Pentacles, which is all about this established foundation, right? Then the 8 of Wands comes in like a whirlwind, shaking things up, followed by the Knight of Wands bringing that fiery, passionate energy. And then, boom. Death signifying a major transformation, an ending of something old to make way for something new. You're like, okay, here we go. But now, here comes the Devil. Oh my gosh, okay, the Devil card. So this isn't about actual evil, okay? It's not about some outside force trying to get you. The Devil card is all about your shadow self, those parts of yourself that you don't really want to look at, the limiting beliefs, the fears, the addictions, the things that are holding you back. It's about feeling trapped, feeling chained to something, whether it's a person, a situation, or just a way of thinking. It's like, what are you really addicted to? What are you really afraid of? What illusions are you believing? It's like you think you're free, but are you really? Are you making choices out of fear or out of love? And with that 10 of Pentacles there, it's like, what are you clinging to that seems so secure and stable, but is actually keeping you stuck? Is it a job that pays well but that you hate? Is it a relationship that's comfortable but unfulfilling? Is it a family tradition that you feel obligated to follow, even though it doesn't align with your own values? Sometimes, we create these golden cages for ourselves, right? We think we're safe and secure, but really, we're just limiting our potential and preventing ourselves from growing. It's like you've built this beautiful house with the 10 of Pentacles, but are you really free to move around in it? Or are you confined to certain rooms, certain expectations, certain ways of being? Then you've got that 8 of Wands, all that rapid movement and communication. But are you getting caught up in distractions? Are you using that speed to avoid dealing with the deeper issues? Are you filling your life with so much activity that you don't have time to actually reflect on what's really going on? Sometimes, we use busyness as a way to numb ourselves, right? We stay so busy that we don't have to feel the uncomfortable feelings or face the difficult truths. So the Devil is asking you, what are you avoiding? What are you distracting yourself from? What uncomfortable truths are you pushing down? Are you, scrolling endlessly on social media or binge-watching TV instead of dealing with your emotions? Are you constantly checking your phone instead of connecting with the people around you? It's like, All that information coming at you with the Eight of Wands. Is it actually helping you, or is it just keeping you trapped in a cycle of distraction and avoidance? And that Knight of Wands, with all that fiery passion and energy, is that passion being misdirected? Is it being used to control others or to control yourself? Is it turning into obsession or addiction? The devil can sometimes represent that darker side of passion, when it becomes all-consuming and destructive. So maybe you're really passionate about your job, but you're working yourself to the bone and neglecting your health and your relationships. Or maybe you're really passionate about a relationship, but you're becoming possessive and controlling. Or maybe you're really passionate about a cause, but you're becoming judgmental and intolerant of others who don't share your views. It's like that fire of the Knight of Wands can be a really powerful force for good, but it can also burn out of control if it's not channeled properly. So the devil is asking you, how are you using your passion? Is it empowering you, or is it enslaving you? Is it bringing you closer to your true self, or is it taking you further away? Is it helping you create a positive impact on the world, or is it causing harm? And then death, this major transformation. What transformation are you resisting? What fears are holding you back from letting go of the old and embracing the new? The devil thrives on fear, right? It's all about those limiting beliefs that keep you stuck in your comfort zone, even when that comfort zone is actually really uncomfortable. So maybe you're afraid of failure. Maybe you're afraid of success. Maybe you're afraid of being alone. Maybe you're afraid of being judged. Whatever it is, those fears are like chains that are binding you to the past and preventing you from moving forward. The Death card is an invitation to break those chains, to release those fears, and to step into your power. But the devil is whispering in your ear, it's too risky, it's too scary, you're better off staying where you are. It's like, you know you need to make a change, you know you need to let go of something, but the devil is making you doubt yourself, making you question your abilities, making you feel like you're not strong enough to handle it. But remember that Lapis Lazuli. Remember that message of perfect clarity. This is where it all comes together. Because the key to breaking free from the devil's chains is to become aware of those chains in the first place. You need to look at your shadow side, to confront your fears, to challenge your limiting beliefs. And you need to communicate clearly with yourself and with others about what's really going on. You need to be honest about what you're addicted to, what you're afraid of, and what's holding you back. It's like you can't break free from something if you don't even know it's there, right? So that Lapis Lazuli is there to help you cut through the illusions, to see things as they really are, and to express yourself authentically. It's about finding your center, connecting with your intuition, and speaking your truth, even when it's uncomfortable. The Devil card is definitely a wake-up call, right? It's like, hey, pay attention, you're not as free as you think you are. But it's also an opportunity. It's an opportunity to break free from those limitations, to reclaim your power, and to create a life that's truly aligned with your soul's purpose. It's about recognizing that you have the strength, the courage, and the wisdom to overcome any obstacle. It's about remembering that you are not your fears, you are not your addictions, you are not your limiting beliefs. You are so much more than that. You are a powerful, creative, and loving being, capable of achieving anything you set your mind to. And this is a part of the journey, right? You can't have the 10 of Pentacles abundance, the 8 of Wands movement, the Knight of Wands passion, and the Death transformation without also facing your inner demons. It's all part of the process. So don't be afraid of the Devil card. Embrace it, learn from it, and use it as a catalyst for growth and transformation. Because on the other side of this darkness, there is light. On the other side of this fear, there is love. On the other side of these limitations, there is freedom. You've got this. And I'm so excited to see how you break free from these chains and step into your full potential. What's the key to unlocking that potential? What action do you need to take? What specific message do you need to hear? I feel like the next card is going to give us some really clear guidance on how to move forward and finally, totally liberate yourself. Okay, so, what's the key? What's the thing we need to unlock? Oh, wow, the High Priestess. Okay, so after all of that, after the 10 of Pentacles, the 8 of Wands, the Knight of Wands, Death, and the Devil, we get the High Priestess. This is so cool. Okay, so the High Priestess, she's all about intuition, mystery, and the subconscious mind. She's like the ultimate guide to your inner world, you know? She's not about logic or reason. She's about feeling, sensing, and trusting your gut. And after all that intense energy we've been dealing with, I feel like this is exactly what you need to hear right now. It's like, okay, you've faced your fears, you've confronted your demons. Now it's time to listen to your intuition and trust that you know what's best for you. It's about going within, you know? Because you've been dealing with so much external stuff, so much change, so much action. The High Priestess is saying, okay, it's time to quiet the noise and listen to that still, small voice inside of you. So, how does this connect to everything else? Well, think about it. The 10 of Pentacles is all about this established foundation, right? But then the 8 of Wands comes in and shakes things up. And the Knight of Wands adds that fiery passion. And Death brings that major transformation. And then the Devil makes you confront your inner demons. It's like all of that external stuff is forcing you to go deeper within yourself, to really figure out what you believe, what you want, and what your purpose is. And the High Priestess is there to guide you on that journey. She's like, okay, you've cleared away all the clutter, now let's see what's really underneath. She's also about secrets, you know, hidden knowledge, things that aren't readily apparent. So maybe there's something you're not seeing clearly, something that's being hidden from you, or something that you're hiding from yourself. The High Priestess is urging you to dig deeper, to ask the right questions, and to trust that the answers will come to you in time. Okay, so intuition. I feel like a lot of people struggle with this, right? They don't really know how to access their intuition, or they don't trust it when they do. But the thing is, everyone has intuition. It's like a natural instinct, a gut feeling that guides you in the right direction. The problem is, we often ignore it or dismiss it because it doesn't make sense logically. We're so used to relying on our minds and our reasoning skills that we forget to listen to our hearts. So the High Priestess is saying, okay, it's time to reconnect with your intuition. It's time to trust that inner voice that knows what's best for you. And how do you do that? Well, there are a few things you can try. First of all, create some quiet time for yourself. Turn off the TV, put away your phone, and just sit in silence for a few minutes each day. This will help you quiet the noise in your mind and create space for your intuition to speak. You could try meditating, or journaling, or just spending time in nature. Anything that helps you connect with yourself and with the present moment. Then, pay attention to your dreams. Dreams are often a way for our subconscious mind to communicate with us, to give us insights and guidance that we might not be aware of during our waking hours. So keep a dream journal and write down your dreams as soon as you wake up. And don't try to analyze them too much. Just let them be what they are and see what insights emerge over time. Also, pay attention to your body. Your body often knows things that your mind doesn't. So, if you have a gut feeling about something, pay attention to it. If you feel uncomfortable in a certain situation, trust that feeling and remove yourself from the situation. Your body is always giving you clues, so learn to listen to it. And finally, trust yourself. This is the most important thing. You have to believe that you have the wisdom and the ability to make the right decisions for yourself. Even if you make mistakes along the way, trust that you'll learn from them and that you'll continue to grow. The High Priestess is all about trusting yourself, trusting your inner voice, and trusting that you know what's best for you, even when it doesn't make sense to anyone else. Now, the balance between the conscious and subconscious mind. This is so important, right? Because we often think that our conscious mind is in charge, that we're making all the decisions, but the truth is, our subconscious mind is actually running the show most of the time. It's like an iceberg, you know? The conscious mind is just the tip of the iceberg, and the subconscious mind is the huge mass that's hidden beneath the surface. So, if you want to really understand yourself and your motivations, you need to tap into your subconscious mind. And the High Priestess is the key to unlocking that hidden knowledge. She's like, okay, let's go beneath the surface and see what's really going on down there. One way to do this is through visualization. Close your eyes and imagine yourself in a safe, comfortable place. Then ask your subconscious mind a question and see what answers come to you. Don't try to force anything. Just let the images and feelings flow naturally. You might be surprised at what you discover. Another way is through automatic writing. Grab a pen and paper and just start writing whatever comes to mind without thinking about it too much. Don't worry about grammar or spelling. Just let your hand move freely and see what words appear on the page. This can be a really powerful way to access your subconscious mind and to uncover hidden thoughts and feelings. It's like letting your subconscious mind take over for a little while and just seeing what it has to say. And remember that Lapis Lazuli, that message of perfect clarity. The High Priestess is all about intuition, but it's also about expressing that intuition clearly and harmoniously. You need to be able to communicate your inner wisdom to the world in a way that's both authentic and understandable. Because what's the point of having all this amazing intuition if you can't share it with others? So that Lapis Lazuli is there to help you do that, to help you find the right words, the right tone, the right way to express yourself. It's about connecting with your center, trusting your voice, and speaking your truth with confidence and clarity. Think about it, with the Death card, you're ending something, but the High Priestess helps you understand why it needed to end. And with the Devil, you're facing your shadow side, but the High Priestess helps you find the compassion and understanding to heal those wounds. It's all about bringing those hidden things to light and then expressing them in a way that's both healing for yourself and inspiring to others. Okay, so practical advice. How do you actually listen to your intuition and navigate the unknown? Well, first of all, be patient. It takes time to develop your intuition, to learn to trust it, and to express it effectively. Don't get discouraged if you don't see results right away. Just keep practicing and keep listening. Secondly, be open-minded. Your intuition might not always tell you what you want to hear. It might challenge your beliefs, push you outside of your comfort zone, and lead you in unexpected directions. So be open to new possibilities and be willing to consider different perspectives. Thirdly, be courageous. It takes courage to trust your intuition, especially when it goes against the grain. But remember that you have the strength and the wisdom to make the right decisions for yourself. Don't let fear hold you back from following your inner voice. And finally, be kind to yourself. You're going to make mistakes along the way. You're going to misinterpret your intuition sometimes. But that's okay. Just learn from your mistakes and keep moving forward. The High Priestess is all about self-compassion, self-acceptance, and self-trust. So be kind to yourself, trust your journey, and know that you're exactly where you need to be. It's about progress, not perfection, you know? Wow, okay, so this is all so powerful. I feel like you're really on the verge of something amazing, something truly transformative. You've faced your fears, you've confronted your demons, you've reconnected with your intuition. Now it's time to take action, to put all of this into practice and create the life you've always dreamed of. But how do you do that? What specific steps do you need to take? What's the final piece of the puzzle? I feel like the next card is going to give us that final guidance, that final message that you need to hear to really unlock your full potential and step into your power. I'm so excited to see what comes next. Okay, so where do we go from here? Like, you've got to put it into practice, right? That's what we need to find out. Oh my gosh, okay, we have the Fool. Oh wow, the Fool card. So after all of that, like seriously, all of that intense stuff, we get the Fool. I love it, it's so perfect. Okay, so the Fool is all about new beginnings, spontaneity, and taking a leap of faith. It's about stepping into the unknown with optimism and excitement, without worrying too much about the details, you know? It's like, you've done all this inner work, you've faced your fears, you've connected with your intuition, and now it's time to just jump. It's time to trust that the universe has your back and that everything is going to work out, even if you don't know exactly how, you know? So how does this connect with everything else? Well, think about it. You have this 10 of Pentacles, which is like your foundation, but then death came and shook it all up, right? And then you had to face your shadow side with the Devil and connect with your intuition with the High Priestess. And now, bam, the Fool. It's like the universe is saying, okay, you're ready, you've done the work. Now it's time to start a new chapter, to embark on a new adventure, to take a chance on something you've always wanted to do. It's interesting because the Fool is numbered 0, right? Which means it's like before number 1. It's before everything else. It's pure potential, pure possibility. It's like a blank slate, a fresh start, a chance to create something completely new, you know? And with that 10 of Pentacles, you've got to ask, what are you making new? What does that foundation stand for now? It's like you're taking all that you've learned, all that you've experienced, all that you've overcome, and you're using it to create a new reality for yourself. Like, what parts of that reality are you bringing with you, and which ones are you leaving behind? It's like the Death card cleared the way, the High Priestess gave you the inner guidance, and the Fool is giving you the green light to just go for it, you know? But here's the thing about the Fool, right? He's a little bit naive, a little bit reckless, a little bit, well, foolish. He's so excited about the possibilities that he sometimes doesn't think things through properly, you know. He just jumps in without looking, without planning, without worrying about the consequences. It's like he's got all this enthusiasm, but he needs to be a little bit careful not to get carried away, you know? Like he might pack a bag for his trip with no essentials, or forget to book a place to stay. So, with that Knight of Wands energy still in the mix, it's important to temper that fiery passion with a little bit of caution, a little bit of common sense, and a little bit of intuition, thanks to the High Priestess, you know. You don't want to just go charging in blindly without considering the impact you're having on yourself and on others, especially with that 10 of Pentacles energy still lingering, right? It's like you need to be strategic, you need to be thoughtful, and you need to be aware of the potential risks and rewards before you take that leap of faith. But at the same time, you can't let fear hold you back, right? You can't let the devil's voice whisper in your ear and tell you that you're not good enough, or that you're going to fail, or that it's too risky, you know. The Fool is all about embracing the unknown and trusting that everything is going to work out, even if you don't know exactly how. Maybe you've been wanting to start your own business, but you've been too afraid to take the plunge, or maybe you've been wanting to travel the world, but you've been worried about the cost, or maybe you've been wanting to pursue a new relationship, but you've been scared of getting hurt. The Fool is saying, okay, it's time to let go of those fears and just go for it. This might involve travel too, so get ready for that 8 of Wands energy again. Like, are you going somewhere totally new? Are you embracing a totally different culture? Are you finding a new version of home that you never expected? The possibilities are limitless here, and you need to stay grounded with that Lapis Lazuli to make sure you don't get too lost. It's like you don't have to have all the answers. You don't have to have a perfect plan. You just have to have the courage to take that first step, to jump off that cliff, and to trust that the universe is going to catch you, you know. And that High Priestess energy will help you listen to your intuition along the way, to make sure you're staying on the right path. The Fool is a reminder that life is an adventure, a journey of discovery, and that you're meant to experience new things, to explore new possibilities, and to grow and evolve along the way, you know. It's about embracing the unexpected, the spontaneous, and the unpredictable, and trusting that everything is happening for your highest good, so long as you stay true to what your intuition is telling you, and you communicate it harmoniously. So maybe this is about selling your house and moving to a new city, even if you don't have a job lined up. Or maybe it's about quitting your job and starting your own business, even if you don't have any clients yet. Or maybe it's about ending a relationship that's no longer serving you and opening yourself up to new possibilities, even if you're scared of being alone, you know. The Fool is saying, okay, it's time to take that leap of faith, to trust your gut, and to create the life you've always dreamed of. But remember that Lapis Lazuli, that message of perfect clarity. The Fool can be a little bit impulsive, a little bit scattered, a little bit all over the place, so you need to make sure that you're communicating your intentions clearly, concisely, and effectively, both to yourself and to others. You need to be able to articulate your vision, your goals, and your expectations in a way that everyone can understand, you know. And you need to be able to listen to other people's feedback and incorporate it into your plans, because even though you're taking a leap of faith, you're not doing it in a vacuum. You're still part of a community, part of a network, and it's important to stay connected to the people who support you and believe in you, especially that Ten of Pentacles energy. This could be about a new spiritual journey too. The Fool is all about innocence, right? So maybe you're finally finding the spiritual path that is right for you. Maybe you're meeting new spiritual guides or joining a new spiritual community. Maybe you're returning to your spiritual center after being away for a long time. This is a really powerful time to discover what you believe and what you stand for. You need to find a way to balance that spontaneity with that groundedness, that intuition with that logic, that freedom with that responsibility. It's a delicate dance, but it's a dance that you're capable of mastering, you know. You have all the tools you need, all the wisdom you need, and all the support you need to create a life that's both exciting and fulfilling, both adventurous and stable, both free and responsible. The High Priestess is there to help you stay connected to your intuition, to guide you along the way, and to make sure you're making decisions that are aligned with your soul's purpose, you know. She's like your inner compass, your inner guide, and she's always there to help you find your way, even when you're feeling lost or confused. With the High Priestess, it's like you have someone watching over you the whole time. Okay, so practical advice. How do you actually take that leap of faith and embrace the unknown? Well, first of all, start small. You don't have to quit your job and sell your house tomorrow, you know? You can start by taking small steps, by trying new things, by exploring new possibilities, and by gradually moving outside of your comfort zone. Secondly, trust your intuition. Pay attention to your gut feelings, your hunches, your instincts, and let them guide you in the right direction, you know. Don't ignore those inner whispers, even if they don't make sense logically. They're often the most important messages you receive. Thirdly, be open to new experiences. Say yes to new opportunities, new adventures, new relationships, and new possibilities, even if they scare you, you know. You never know what amazing things might be waiting for you just around the corner. And finally, have fun. Remember that life is meant to be enjoyed, to be savored, to be celebrated. Don't take yourself too seriously. Don't worry too much about the future, and just focus on being present in the moment and enjoying the ride, you know. The Fool is all about joy, excitement, and adventure, so embrace that energy and let it guide you on your journey. Because what's life without a little bit of foolishness? What's life without a little bit of spontaneity? What's life without a little bit of faith? Wow, okay. So this is all coming together so beautifully. I feel like you're really ready to embark on a new adventure, to create a new reality for yourself, and to step into your full potential. But what's the next step? What's the final piece of the puzzle? What specific message do you need to hear to really embrace this new beginning and make the most of this opportunity? I feel like the next card is going to give us that final guidance, that final message that you need to hear to really unlock your full potential and step into your power. I am so excited to see what comes next. What is that universe trying to tell you? Okay, so wow, the Nine of Swords. After all of that, right? The Ten of Pentacles, the Eight of Wands, the Knight of Wands, Death, the Devil, the High Priestess, the Fool. And then the Nine of Swords. It's like after all that growth and transformation, there's still this lingering anxiety, this worry, this feeling of being overwhelmed, you know. This card is heavy, right? It's about those sleepless nights, those racing thoughts, those fears that just won't go away. It's about feeling trapped in your own mind, like you can't escape the negative thoughts that are swirling around and around. It's about feeling like everything is just too much to handle, like you're carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders. So, what's going on here? Why is this anxiety still present after all that work you've done? Well, I think it's important to remember that transformation isn't always easy, right? It's not always a linear process. There are going to be ups and downs, twists and turns, moments of clarity and moments of confusion, you know. And even when you've made a lot of progress, there can still be these lingering doubts, these fears that creep in and try to undermine your confidence. But the thing about the Nine of Swords is that it's often about perceived fears, you know. It's not always about real threats. It's about the stories we tell ourselves, the worries we create in our own minds, the what-ifs that keep us up at night. It's about exaggerating the negative and minimizing the positive, about focusing on the worst-case scenario instead of the best-case scenario. So, what are you really worried about? What are those thoughts that are keeping you up at night? Are they based on reality or are they based on fear? Are they based on facts or are they based on assumptions? Because, sometimes we get so caught up in our own heads that we lose sight of what's actually true, We create these elaborate stories, these intricate webs of worry, that have very little to do with what's actually happening in our lives. Now, think back to that 10 of Pentacles, that foundation, that sense of security. Is this anxiety related to that? Are you worried about losing that stability? Are you worried about disrupting the status quo? Are you worried about disappointing your family or your community? It's maybe you're taking this leap of faith with the Fool, but there's still this part of you that's clinging to the past, that's afraid of letting go of what's familiar and comfortable. And what about that 8 of Wands? All that rapid movement and communication. Is that contributing to your anxiety? Are you feeling overwhelmed by all the information that's coming at you? Are you feeling like you can't keep up with the pace of change? Are you feeling like you're constantly bombarded with messages and demands and expectations? It's maybe you're so busy trying to keep up with everything that you don't have time to actually process your emotions and deal with your fears, And that Knight of Wands, all that fiery passion and energy. Is that being misdirected? Is it turning into anxiety and stress? Are you putting too much pressure on yourself to achieve your goals? Are you pushing yourself too hard? Are you neglecting your own needs in the pursuit of success? It's maybe you're so focused on achieving your dreams that you're forgetting to take care of yourself along the way. Then, death, the transformation. Is this anxiety related to that change? Are you resisting the ending of something? Are you afraid of the unknown? Are you clinging to something that needs to be released? It's maybe you know that something needs to change, but you're scared of what that change might bring. Then, the devil. Those shadow parts. Is this anxiety coming from those fears and limitations? What is the source of it? What illusions are you trapped in? It's maybe you're afraid of failing, or you're afraid of succeeding, or you're afraid of being judged, or you're afraid of being alone. And the High Priestess is helping you understand why that anxiety is still here and how to use your intuition to help calm yourself. But ultimately, it's the Fool that needs to come in and get you to actually take that leap anyway. To trust your gut, which the High Priestess is saying is the correct thing to do. So, what can you do about this anxiety? How can you overcome these fears and step into your power? Well, the first thing is to acknowledge it, right? Don't try to ignore it or suppress it. Acknowledge that you're feeling anxious, that you're feeling worried, that you're feeling overwhelmed. Because the more you try to resist it, the stronger it's going to become. Then, try to identify the source of your anxiety. What are those thoughts that are keeping you up at night? What are those fears that are swirling around in your mind? Get specific. Write them down. Examine them. Challenge them. Ask yourself if they're based on reality or if they're based on fear. And then, practice some self-care, Take some time for yourself to relax and recharge. Do something that makes you feel good, something that brings you joy, something that helps you to connect with yourself and with the present moment. Maybe it's taking a bath, or reading a book, or listening to music, or spending time in nature, or meditating, or exercising, or talking to a friend, or whatever, Just do something that helps you to calm your mind and soothe your soul. Try to challenge those negative thoughts. When you notice yourself thinking something negative, stop and ask yourself if it's really true. Is there any evidence to support it? Or is it just a story you're telling yourself? If it's just a story, try to reframe it. Try to find a more positive and empowering way of looking at the situation. It's instead of saying, "I'm going to fail," say, "I'm going to try my best, and if I fail, I'll learn from it." Practice mindfulness, Pay attention to the present moment, to what's happening right now, instead of worrying about the future or dwelling on the past. Focus on your breath, on your senses, on your body. Notice the sights, the sounds, the smells, the tastes, the textures that are all around you. The more you can stay present, the less anxious you're going to feel. Communicate clearly, like the Lapis Lazuli says. Talk to someone you trust about your anxiety. Share your fears, your worries, your concerns. Sometimes, just talking about it can help to release some of the pressure and to gain a new perspective. And remember that 10 of Pentacles can be a source of support and wisdom, so reach out to those you love and trust. Set realistic goals, break them down into smaller, more manageable steps, and celebrate your accomplishments along the way. Don't try to do too much at once. Focus on taking small, consistent actions that will move you closer to your goals. And be kind to yourself when you make mistakes. Learn from them and keep moving forward. Trust your intuition, just like the High Priestess taught you. What does your gut tell you about this anxiety? What does your inner voice say? Listen to those messages and let them guide you in the right direction. You have the wisdom and the strength to overcome this, so trust yourself and trust your journey. You know more than you think you do. Then, take that leap of faith, just like the Fool is encouraging you to do. Embrace the unknown, trust that everything is going to work out, and just go for it. Don't let fear hold you back from pursuing your dreams. You have the power to create the life you want, so take that chance and make it happen. You're ready. Remember that energy of the Lapis Lazuli, which you picked at the start. It's there to help you center yourself, communicate clearly, and express yourself harmoniously, even in the midst of this anxiety. Lean into its energy. Connect with your intuition. Trust that everything is happening for your highest good. This 9 of Swords doesn't have to define you, right? It's just a temporary state, a passing phase. You have the power to overcome this anxiety, to release these fears, and to create a life that's filled with joy, peace, and fulfillment. You've already come so far, you've already faced so many challenges, and you've already shown yourself that you're capable of anything, you know. You have all the tools you need, all the wisdom you need, and all the support you need to create the life you desire. So trust yourself, trust your journey, and trust that the universe is always guiding you in the right direction. The 9 of Swords is just a reminder to slow down, to breathe, and to remember how strong you really are. It's like, you've got this. Seriously, I believe in you.